Whoops. Clicked on the wrong scene so many times there. Alright. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, this one's a 4x3 game, so I have to do a different scene. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. Alright. Where were we? I will say, I luckily, because I didn't know which episode we were on of this, looked at the last VOD and saw the fact that I ended earlier than I would have normally and didn't do the tips. So we're going to start with the tips on this end of chapter. I don't even know if you remember. It's okay. I don't either, but I think that's a good thing, right? Alright. Everything seems to be good. I didn't have enough time to do a test because I was lazy and I was like, oh shit, I need to start in 2 minutes, and then just rushed everything. Alright. Let's see. Just continue. Oh, yeah, okay. End of chapter 10, right? Or is there another one here? End of chapter 11, okay. Or... Yomanko indeed? Exactly. Okay. So, my plans, by the way. We're gonna go things in reverse, right? So, we're finishing Higurashi today. Tomorrow, we'll finish Nep. And day after, we finish Hollow Knight. Crazy, right? Insane, right? Main reason for that is because I kind of want to do it in some order. So Nep was always going to be in the middle, and I wanted to start with this first because I'm busy tomorrow and rather do non-Hollow Knight stuff today because of that. I'll still have time for stream. It may be late, maybe an hour late, we'll see. But yeah. Yeah, Nep tomorrow. For the very end of that. We'll probably kind of rush it because I think I soft lock myself out of the swimsuits, right? So we'll just go normal ending, Lamau, win. I don't think we'll true ending it. I don't really want to. I do kind of want to eventually. We can always go back and do it. Because I think I have the save like set up for it, but who knows. Alright, view tips. View new tips actually. Yeah, these are new tips. Wow. Split personality, I know what you mean. Women, am I right? I see it in movies quite often, but what is it exactly? Multiple personalities are thought to be escapism. Is that what it is? Or is that just a situation for it? Are all bipolar women just escaping from reality? Because I just watch isekai anime, it's the same thing. Multiple personality disorder is a form of escape? Correct. Oh. Exact mechanism is not fully understood, but is believed to be a type of defense for the brain to retain mental stability. But it's even more unstable, to be fair. Hypothetically, poor people imagining themselves as wealthy is a form of escapism, is it not? Is this also a form of multiple personality disorder? Is that what you guys do? I didn't go that far. Oh, never mind. But broadly speaking, one could infer that it's something that occurs in us all. Yeah, copium. It's just copium. Oh, man. Haters couldn't do it, but here I am, bro. You know which one I'm gonna pin. Big dog, keep going. Yeah, you 100% put that in AI, didn't you? Beautiful. I'll pin it. It's required. This is why he's the head mod, everyone. This is why he's the head mod. He does shit like that. Yeah. What the fuck is Arinami cooking? Literature. Alright. Does a split personality occur when one cannot tell which is reality and which is the escape? I don't know. That's difficult to say, yeah. There are some who agree with that and some who disagree. I think they can tell, it's just they don't want to tell. There's no consensus, okay. Then is the occurrence of multiple personalities still an unknown phenomenon? Something not fully comprehended in the psychiatric field? Unfortunately, that is the current state of things. We can only put our hope in the future research. Oh boy. How this was made in well, this game was made in the early 2000s, right? But this is set in the 80s. Has research in this changed? I actually do not know much about mental disorders other than my own. So I know quite a bit about it. But it's sort of cool having a split personality. Damn. This guy doesn't know. What kind of people get split personalities? Recent studies finds that those who develop it or rather those who are more susceptible to developing it, may be genetically predisposed or may have had abnormal mental development. And yeah, I feel mental disorders became normalized. I think the most normalized mental disorder is ADHD. I feel like every other person I meet has it. Like, okay, I'm gonna go like, I don't know how you guys feel about self-diagnosis. I'm just too lazy to get it, but I pretty much, I believe I have it. I don't have like, oh, look at lay doctor said so, but my friend who was diagnosed said that the symptoms they test, I have more severe of, so I just kind of extrapolated from that, and it would make things make a lot of sense. But I will say I'm not a big fan of self-diagnoses, so I believe I'm diagnosed with a big dick. See, that's the type of diagnosis I would not see. That's a good argument of what I was just saying. Oh. You know, fair enough. Half tempted to go see someone just to tell me what I already know, you know what I mean? But the thing is I do have the fear that I kind of like self-enforce the fact that I have it by thinking I have it, which will make me have it. Someone asked me why I'm mauled in GFD, so I said 260 is comfy, 270 is mauled. I think anything above 245 is retarded. Your message wasn't posted due to conflicts with the channel's moderation settings. I know, right? Trains are forbidden. Oh. Damn. Guys, did I write it as retraded in the thing? I love saying it like that because it gets through every TOS and it's just funnier. and also I have a meme of Raymu saying it. I forgot where I need to have it. I need to like put it on my PC and put it on the screen. It's on my phone. What does Twitch have against trains? Well, it's not the Twitch moderation, it's my chat moderation. Remember my rules, guys. Remember my rules. All right. Some say that childhood abuse increases the chances. Oh, I see. That would explain a lot. Asian households. I'm talking about like friends, because I'm not Asian. I actually have parents that don't beat me, so kind of cool, right? I heart child abuse, damn. Speaking of which, person A here experienced abuse as a child. Ah, yes, of course. Didn't he? How sad. How sad. Damn, that sucks, man. Child abuse? Yeah. Kind of sad, man. Person A has 7 different personalities. So okay, let me give you some lore. I worked at Amazon for a season, like during like the Christmas like time, because I didn't have a job and needed money. So I met a guy there who is like, yeah, I have 4 personalities, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, my doctor says I'm not allowed to use 2, and I'm like, okay. And yeah, he was kind of a funny guy because like, I mean, he had 4 personalities, so one of them was bound to be funny, and it turns out to be the one that he used the most, so it was nice. Let's watch a video of him. I don't know, I think they're trying to be serious here, but just that, let's watch a video of the guy with 7%. That strikes me as just modern YouTube slop. And doctors keeping him at 50% potential. No, he gets violent in those ones, he explained. That's why. 1984, yep. Right, after these commercials. Okay, it is humorous, thank God. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was making jokes of everything. Which I do, but sometimes I like to be serious, guys. Look at me. Like, don't you know? Wait, hold on, do I have the meme? Oh shit, I accidentally scrolled through. I forgot I need to actually... Oh, did that ruin everything? I don't think it did. I think that was the last dialogue. Am I crazy? See, when I use the scroll wheel, it goes through the text. Where's my serious hat toggle? That's a good idea. What I was trying to do is... Where is it? I need to get rid of the game for There you go. I can, dude. So I never really explained my background, have I? I just have it as a placeholder for the eventual day I commission a real one with money. But the problem is I have to ask people to do that and I have to spend money. That's already two hurdles in that. So I made this one in like just putting 3 images together. Obviously, you know the top right one with the Mika meme. That's an old one. That's when Bina was used with Ui and Akohimari and Akane. Wow, that was an old one. The bottom right one's a League of Legends reference, you wouldn't get it. What the fuck did Bora do? Did you just ban him for fun? Dude, Philly. I know I gave you mod, but we should make 1984 a banned word. That would be actually funny. I need to go on Twitch where all the fun is, dude. Redacted. I feel that. Philly is already. I mean, to be fair, saying the mods are gay is kind of an accepted term. It's just how it works. Alright, anyway, back to explaining this. The left meme is something I saw. I don't remember where, but that is me in a nutshell. Anyway, that's all I needed to say. Alright. Let's go to the next one. At the 7th mart. What's 7th mart? Like the 6th mart? Okay, I forgive. The 7th mart was a bargain supermarket with food and alcohol. Fuck yeah. I will say Japanese konbini are pretty peak. Let's just say Kevin should have never taught me about getting the I think it was Family Mart, right? The curry there. I think it was tonkatsu curry. That shit was peak for what it was. It was so good for what it was that I'm afraid that if I ever go to Japan again, I will eat nothing but konbini food the whole time. Really no point in doing anything else. I think I went to one like cheap curry place one time because I was like, I want curry. I literally had the Kaede loading screen. Why is that what pops in my head? I hate how I have the loading screen so like ingrained in my soul that I thought about that. But yeah, sometimes I crave curry. It's kind of weird. Is it the inner Indian in me? Guys, kill it. Kill the inner Indian, please, 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 please. Anyway, what's this, Keiichi? So many. There's no reason to get all different kinds, is there? Absolutely is. You need to find out which one's the best one. Someone in EU did a no-list run, but with Fuyu, and they're ranked 99. On what, Yasod? I feel like that could work, yeah. Yeah. You could probably still one pan. That sounds hard. I feel like that could work, though. The only second torment? Damn. Not first torment? Skill issue. Come on. Alright, Arinami, when's your first Luna? Is it gonna be Bina? Is Bina gonna be your first Luna? That doesn't count, by the way. It is one pan? Yeah. Wait, you can one pan? You can one pan Yasod on torment? What? Is that real? What do you do? Wait, how does that work? It's gonna be Kurokage? You're right, actually. Yeah, you can do Kurokage, I believe. I believe everyone here can do Kurokage Luna, even you, Bora. I mean, one pan part 2. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I was freaking out. Cope and Torment Hyro with Escana because I skipped Fuyu. I'm kind of the same, to be fair, so you'll just do what I do. Just borrow Fuyu. Lamau. Borrow Fuyu. Simple. That's what I'm doing. It locks me out of the, what's it called? The Maris for blue, but that's for the best. I believe that I'll like punch a hole in my wall if I attempt that. But yeah. We laughed at a guy trying one pan insane not long ago. Yeah, honestly. You underestimate my account? What do you mean? Borrow Fuyu would be better than anything you can think of. You like UE60 Shanako? Why? Stop it. Just get her. Well, just use Ligma. Yeah. I flopped all the different colored cup noodles bowls into the cart. Cup noodles have gotten so elaborate recently, and there are a bunch of different types. I want to try each of them at least once. I have this mentality too. Except there are some flavors I will never touch. I can't think of any, but oh, I forgot to tell you. I still have, okay, this is a question. Okay, this is a very important question. So I got the Hosho Marin ramen in Japan, and so for some reason, Customs didn't give a fuck. So it is food that I brought over. I never told them. It's okay. How long is this good for? I bought it end of December. Let's just say the beginning of the year. How long is it good for? How long is cup noodles good for? By the way, it's really funny. Since it went through the plane, it got like inflated, so it's a little like it's pressurized inside. Probably good until sauce expires. How long does the sauce last? Because you're right. Is there sauce in here? I don't know. U60 or else Kevin will become your future sleep paralysis. True. Or you can't do Luna like a I can't say those words. Yeah, you're right about the sauce. That's probably the only thing that's worth worrying about. Oh, shit! It has an expiration date on it. Okay. May 13th is the expiration date. 40? 40? Holy shit, that's head mod material right there. That is head mod material. Or a Bond 50 or like a certain top 100 any player. Yeah, but Kurokage is purple, so you're gonna need the UE60. You need both. I'll have her close to 50 by then, I promise, right? How long is it? We have Hyro. Hyro's gonna be annoying. I need to just like I asked Kevin some stuff like after Terraria yesterday. And he basically like told me how many people in his club cleared certain like types of runs, and I'm just gonna go with the ones that were clearable without like mental illness. Forgot about Idomari. I have close to 80 on Kohoro streamer. Damn. And you're not even modded there. Come on, I give you the special privileges of doing work for me, and you can't even watch me as much. Watch on YouTube once. Oh wait, hold on. Is it because you were banned on Twitch? Is that why? Wait, Wait, was Koharo streamer banned at the same time? I'm confused because. Oh, wait, have you watched every Twitch stream? No, you haven't. Maybe that's what it is. Nah, I kept the streak. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. That's kind of fair, actually. That's kind of nice of Twitch for them to do that. It's like, oh, if you get banned, it's not like you'll lose all your streaks. Has there? No, I've streamed more than 40 times since I started. I'm pretty sure. You've definitely missed some. Either way, though. I know it was pretty selfish of me, but I thought I'd at least give it a try. It's just chat. Oh, you can still watch. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Keiichi. So wait, were you always watching on Twitch and I just never noticed? Damn. I will say lurkers are like one of the hardest people to ever know exist. Because they don't interact. But I like them anyway because they make number go up. Keiichi. Buy them in the big case. It's cheaper. Dad faltered. Well, I had a feeling it'd end up like this. Now that Dad had thrown his hat into the ring, I'd have to compromise. Have you thought pulling a random viewer on stream to do a political debate like with Asmongold? Oh! No one... So here's the thing. I kind of have a policy. I low-key want to put it... Like, I don't negotiate with retards. If someone says something stupid, it's bait. This is how I stay sane. This is why I never get into Twitter beef. Someone says something stupid, I don't reply. Unless it's to rage bait back. I will bait back. But everything is bait. Everything is bait, or they agree with me. That's how I live my life. Say something I disagree with, bait. Now that Dad had thrown his hat into the ring, I have to compromise. And I only get to eat one kind. I get bored with it. You feel called out? It was low-key a little bit called out, but I will say, Bora, it's entertaining. It's something... Okay, I like people who... What's it called? Twitter beef? Terminally onlinely? But I would never do it. I like watch. I like drama slop a little bit, but I would never get into it. Stressful as hell. I'd rather just be silly. But I will bait. So if someone calls me out on something, I will bait back. That too. That's the thing. I'll always. If someone wants to start something, I'll probably respond to. I'd just be like, Lamau. I don't know. I haven't been in enough situations to where I get confronted. Guys, start beef with me. See how it runs. I know Bora tries to. Dude, I will say, but it's funny because sometimes I'll end stream, see your next Twitter post, and you'll be like, I was just watching this random stream and this motherfucker did this. And I was like, wait, that's me. I'm trying to beef online. Fucking Socrates appears out of nowhere and asks me if arguing online is your power. What are you without it? Damn. See, I feel like I would be really good at online arguing. It's just it has no value, other than entertainment value. It's not like you're gonna convince anyone anything. People go into online arguments with their thoughts like already where they are, and no amount of words on a screen is gonna convince them. And the best you can do is get them to block you. You're gonna buy Twitter Blue. You're gonna make bank out of it by schizo tweeting every hour. Oh, for Bora? Yeah, well, to be fair, that costs money for him. He would actually make bank from it, though, probably. It depends. Depends on how shadow banned he is right now. Alright, then I only get to eat one kind. I get bored of it. Not paying money to the Goyim. Is Elon Musk Goyim? Oh, yeah, he is. Wait. The Goyim? Aren't they the better ones? But I know what you mean. I think the main reason I don't buy Twitter Blue is because I have no value in it right now. I was resisting as a formality. If I get big, I may get it. That'd be kind of funny, though. I had already given up inside and wasn't sure which case of noodles to get. If you can't pick, then mommy will pick for you. Wow. You don't have to rush me. I quickly searched the cases of noodles for what I wanted. Pork bone and ginger, large cup. That sounds kind of good. Didn't Elon meet up with Epstein before, or is this Mandela effect? So they had emails together, basically. Epstein was like, oh, you want to come to this fun place where we have these fun activities? And Elon's like, no. No, I don't want to do that. Basically, Elon was too autistic to... Yeah. I did not mean. I noticed this when we rated the guy last time, but sometimes you and I say the exact same sentence and it freaks me out. I was going to say word for word what you just said, and then you say that. But did you notice on that one raid with that one guy who really liked Brown Dust too, that we just chat the exact same message? Freaked me the hell out. Stop that. Seems easy enough because I'm a Blue Archive player. Damn. And before Elon called out Trump before the second episode. No, yeah, the whole calling out Trump thing, that was just... Like, my dad says it's all like, just like, like, what's it called? It's just cinematic, basically. They're just putting on a show. Hive mind, I know, right? Hey, guys, am I that predictable? Let's after me, Mika. No. No, I will not. DC, okay. You know what? You know what? Maybe you thinking Mika Mid's a good thing because at least there's a difference in our opinion. Hey, Kichi, can't get a more normal one? What's wrong with pork bone and ginger? That sounds good. What's weird about that? If I let mom pick, she'll err on the side of safety and get soy sauce or salt flavored. Salt? I will say salt ramen is kind of a meme because it's so like basic, but I went to fucking Hakodate, which is where they specialize in that, and that shit was good. So, but I prefer more like meaty ones, obviously. Honestly, I'd get like chicken or something. Today I increased bond with S Mika and thought maybe Mika's not so bad. You know, that's the correct thing you should think. Pork bone is good. You get a large serving, but the flavor isn't too strong. I remembered insisting that the noodles I picked were the right kind. True. I will say, the flavor is however strong you want it to be based on how much water or packet you put in. I like my ramen with less water because it's easier to clean up. But in doing so, all the spicy ones are extra fucking spicy, which is I kind of want some after. Dude, I don't know what it is about this game, but it makes me... Well, I know what it is. It's because they talk about it, but I want to make noodles after. I'll probably do that. I need to remember. You good, bro? In this frozen memory and time, this encapsulated the world. I didn't have the power to look around my surroundings. Oh. So I did what I could and reached out with my hearing and vision, sharpening my senses to find the presence I overlooked. Oh, damn. Is he trying to remember things? Oh, dude... Some freaky ass shit. Right? No D Hina spawn camps me during another festival. I know what you mean. Where UE60 is that way. No matter how much I searched through my field of vision, I couldn't see Rena. I rewound the situation, searching. But of course I couldn't find her. Man, going full on eidetic memory here. Then, was she spying at me from my blind spot? I go through the sound and presences again, looking. I could sense the other customers. They were all mixed about, moving as they please. There was nobody looking over this way and no one trying to get behind me. Not here, couldn't be here. Probably wasn't here. I would definitely notice if someone was right behind me, even when I wasn't on my guard. Momoy and Instagram reel spotted? Oh no. Wait, okay, which Momoy meme? This will matter. okay. Yep. Okay. The iShow Speed one, yeah, that's something. A classic. Sadly, it's a classic. I wish it was a new one. You got 155 A-lift before I spent all my Ligma to get her UE60 when Shibukaki's dropped. Damn. I actually don't have that much Ligma right now. I have like 400, I think. But we'll see. I don't know. When's the next time I'll need to spend it? I don't need to spend any for Kurokage because we already have Raisa good. What's after Kurokage? Just list everything after Kurokage coming up. I think I'm fine till Maris. We'll see though. Definitely notice if someone was right behind me, even when I wasn't on my guard. I smile wryly at the thought of using a vague word like probably right before contradicting it with definitely. Then I paused my mental replay as a chill ran down my spine. There was definitely a presence like a shadow behind me. That was a terror unlike any other. If a presence really had manifested behind me, I would definitely have turned around to check for it. But the world had moved on, and there was no way for me to turn around. While carrying that frightening shadow on my back, I was gleefully running around the store searching for a case of noodles. Kaiten waka shirokuro beaner Iro gaz pedal. Okay, so Kaiten. I don't know if I need Yakumo yet, right? What does Kaiten GA use? Does it use Aru? Or is it not the right one yet? Or is it just pure Hina? I think it's pure Hina one pan, never mind. Fucking Pedro Jime makes me want to invest in swimsuit hag. Wait. Which hag? Kurokage begins immediately after Higurashi is done. Yakumo is better than Kyutomoe? Okay. Does Yakumo need to be built? Because I'm pulling for her, by the way. We are pulling for the Yak. Does she need to be anything like Hagsumi? Wait, what? Oh! Is it Pedro GA? Okay. That's not for a while though, so yeah, I'll do the same, but it's not for a while. Don't worry about it yet. That's a nice Amy. 4-star usable methinks. Okay. Sadly, I need Kevin confirmation, other than you. But if that's the case, then hell yeah. Yeah, Yellow Torment. Yeah, okay. No more Junko? Just Junko at Lamau, or is it not the right terrain? Because I love the Junko tech. It is actually so peak. While carrying that frightening shadow on my back, I was gleefully running around the store searching for the case of noodles. Also, you can just borrow. Running through the instant noodle section, bad mouthing my mom. Damn, this man hates his mom. Kind of cringe. There was that presence constantly at my back, sticking to me like a shadow. Punch Junko? What the fuck? She may use her fucking basic and then she'll get stronger. Do you think? Wait, does that mean Junko's a masochist based on her skills? Like she gets stronger the more like lower her HP is, and also like she always like loses her food. Is she a masochist? Maybe. No way to see what it was. Realizing it now after the fact was horrifying and repulsive. Scientifically proven sex outfit? Okay, how scientifically provable is this? Holy shit! I see. Is it just me or okay? This is not. This is only in her case, but like not in every case. But I think in her case in particular, I don't think she is as good as an elf girl. I think the elf ears do not suit her, but I don't know yet. Obviously, like girls like Himari, elf ears are perfect, but I don't know. All right, in that moment of time, I was running around gleefully, carrying that cardboard box. Tip tap. But listening to that moment again, I could hear footsteps other than mine going pit-pat with every step. Droopy elf ears? I don't like the droopy ones as much, to be fair. But Himari has the droopy ones and they work. I think it's the silver hair. Silver hair with elf ears is kind of, it's kind of the way. It is kind of the way. Like, think about it. Himari, Frieren, Sylphie, Emilia. You can't go wrong. It's just the ultimate formula. Like, Nagatsuki Tape claimed that early on, like in 2012, that's why he wrote, no joke, he wrote ReZero for Emilia because he likes silver-haired elf girls. Actually, the reason. Also, what's this? Yeah, true. Oh, yeah. True. Truth nuke. Anyway. While I was running, the sound of those barefoot footsteps going pit-pat were right behind me. Me running around gleefully in that closed-off moment in time. But I didn't hear it. Did you see it? No, I heard it. That's why I remembered it. I didn't think I heard anything. That's why I didn't turn around. In that moment, that pit-pat of the footsteps were following me the entire time. I couldn't run faster and escape. I couldn't run away any faster than I had ran at that time. I couldn't turn around. I hadn't turned around before, not once. Then I returned to my parents and started hacking. That shadow-like presence was right at my back. Since I didn't move, the shadow didn't move. That's why I made no sound. That was all. At the time, I hadn't taken a single step while talking with my parents. I was just standing there. Top scorers use UE40 Yakub. On Torba, we could probably cope with 4-star. See, I need to know how much is the coping 4-star. Well, I'm gonna sumo Kevin to fact check this. Hell yeah. Kevin cannot escape us. So, wow. I've seen that one before. You've sent that before. You're skipping both Idol and Track Mari. Oh shit! Whoa! Don't say such things around here. I was just standing there. This was undeniable. And yet, I heard it. A pipette. Interesting Lebanese surname. What? Dragmari. That shouldn't be. If I took 3 steps, it followed 3 steps. Wasn't that the rule? I love schizophrenia. There was no sound other than that. At that time, the entire world had gone dark. A sudden darkness. It was the end of my reflective journey. I was tired. I wanted to end it. Someone turned on the light that my body couldn't move, as if I was sewn into that moment in time. Pepe. My past self's hair stood on end. It's impossible. That's just breaking the rules. I haven't moved. They shouldn't be moving either. I couldn't move. They shouldn't be able to move either. All of the rules. Yeah, the sound echoed in the darkness once again. Hair on my back, my neck pricked up again. It was so close that it was hard to tell whether it was touching the hair or not. Why couldn't I move like how the presence was moving behind me? I quickly realized I could move. It's just that I was scared and didn't want to. But now is the only time I could turn around. Something unforgivable in this moment in time. But I needed to turn around immediately. As if my entire being was trying to force me to stop. It began to administer a pain like a needle being stuck into my every pore. I'll turn around. I'll turn around. I'm not scared at all. I'll turn around. I'll turn around. I'm not scared at all. A scream I was unable to vocalize. I turned around. At first I couldn't understand the meaning of it. What? What is this? This is a person's mouth might bite into an apple, slurp the juices, and finally discover that it was an apple. My mind began processing the scene before my eyes by eating the apple. Slurp the juices and discover the apple. Well, I'll look at those after. I want to get through the sequence because this is intense. Meaning, what was in front of me was... What is it? What was it? What the fuck was it? What the fuck? Okay. Another white woman? How white? Oh, damn! You know what? Maybe I like her now. I will say we need her like with less clothes, and I'll probably like her more. You know how you know how it is. But is this GDD? Where's Yuzu? Oh, holy shit! It worked, Yuzu. Holy shit, that worked. Oh man, Master of Disguise got me there for a second. Oh. Damn, Snake was onto something. Alright, wow, okay, I got an achievement that said I finished all the tips, so maybe there's only one chapter left. Yeah, let me save. Continue. So where do we leave off, right? She was kind of like having a schizo attack in the rain, and we went to sleep after that. Okay. Mirai is pretty retreated, so she should be in your radar. So she kind of is. I will say she does not have enough screen time yet for me to have an opinion. I don't know what the next event is with her, but she is like, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of scammers. So it's like that's a negative, but I can see how could she grow on me, and the potential is there. I'm not an all appearance guy, as you can tell, but she does seem nice without clothes, I will say. Sips drink. I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't get any sleep. Okay, he didn't sleep. That makes sense. I tried to stay awake all night, but there were definitely gaps in my memory. Oh, dude, that's always freaky, right? Have you ever, like, slept, but, like, you didn't feel like you ever fell asleep because... I don't know. And you just wonder, did I sleep or not? We're so lucky your skin isn't a sheet. Sir, don't you like those? I guess... Oh, because she scams? Is that what you're trying to say? You're right. Oh, man. The memes. The memes. Imagine. TBH, that would have been funnier. That would have been actually good content if they did that, honestly. They should have done that. I guess I kept nodding off and jerking awake in a panic all night. I always jerk. I spent all night hugging the metal bed and sat on top of the futon I used to barricade my door. Waiting, watching just in case someone tried to break through my window. Says I do not redeem. If I left the spot, someone would break through the door, sending the futon flying and attack me. If I stopped watching the window, someone would break through the glass and attack me. I tried telling myself I was just being paranoid, but I couldn't sleep. I don't want spoilers, Sedge. The thought of being so vulnerable scared the living daylights out of me. I like how this chat is BA related than the visual novel stuff. To be fair, this one is... I don't know. I feel like visual novels don't really work for stream, but I wanna play it anyway. But up to you. Damn, they got a job. Oh no. If sleep meant taking that risk, I didn't need it. It was so much better to just stay awake. At some point during the endless cycle of nodding off and jolting awake, light began to shine outside. That was it. It wasn't so much the morning as it was just the sun simply having risen. I snuck a peek through the curtains. Rena was gone. I couldn't see her anywhere, no matter how hard I looked. Finally, I could breathe a sigh of relief. The night was finally over. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired, but I didn't feel like sleeping at that moment. I still had time. But I need to make my own breakfast, so I better get started soon. Kohara breakfast? Ooh. What is this? Okay, now some K. Oh. I'd eat it, to be fair. To be fair, I'd eat Brandon eggs. Brandon eggs sound kind of... Okay, honestly. Just to make sure it's clipped, let me put this on stream. Yep. I'd eat Brandon's eggs. 100%. Wait, why is Mari, like, freaking out? Also, if this is this what she wears underneath? That's kind of nice. Ibukum. I don't think I can pull that one up, can I? I don't trust that. Oh, I can. Oh, it's like Speaky. Dude, guys, I found a Speaky playlist with 1,500 videos, and I have an idea of what to do for stream one day. Honestly, she looks really good in this art style. Anyway, let's go to the K one. I already saw this, and yes, sex. Alright. You need to make a home... Oh, yeah, I already read that. Keeping school is also an option. My mom gone, it'd be easy to play hooky. Rose PTSD over the Nagisa incident? I do. I was already, like, paranoid as it is, but now I'm extra. Honestly, I debated it. The risk involved in leaving my house was incalculable. So staying holed up in here was probably my safest option. Rena? Not this Rena, right? Man, everyone's just sending me memes. Damn. Racing me. Oh, that's a nice Rena. Okay. But staying here wouldn't solve anything. Oishi-san wouldn't help me without cold hard evidence. Neither he nor my parents. Unless I found some sort of proof, these relentless nights would never end. Stretched my body, tilted my head back, and closed my eyes just like I did every morning. I regulated my breathing and regained my senses. Hondan Keiichi Maebara. Toho artists fall for BA? It happens. Honestly, I 100% believe that the majority of the Toho community is now in BA. Like, I migrated from Toho, kind of. I wasn't exactly, like, the big Toho guy, and now it didn't, like, become a Toho fan at the right time. There was, like, a weird COVID resurgence of Toho content, and that's when I showed up. But that was pretty much it. But I feel like people who like Toho like Blue Archive. I can't imagine why. But yeah. Let's go to school. But yeah, if you like Toho and Blue Archive, we're probably very similar people. That's just how it works, man. Damn. Damn. Poor guy. Chairlet. Go to school. Let's wait until they set their trap for me. That didn't mean I was just going to twiddle my thumbs. I can't read. I needed to avoid that trap and secure irrefutable evidence. Take note of the plates of any car that drives by. Good job, Philly. I was gonna do it, but you're faster than me. Good job. That's the mod material right there. That's impressive. Impressive. You understand. If I see someone suspicious, check their clothes and face. I wasn't just protecting myself, I was preparing myself to turn their attack against them and retaliate. The tension was similar to when two samurai were both aiming to slay each other with a single motion as they drew their katanas. Like, I want to play Sekiro. I thought that earlier, but I don't want to get into a game right now. Did Philly did the same microsecond as you? I'm glad we're all on the same page. I do not. I wish you guys can pin YouTube stuff because like sometimes I need to focus on the game and you guys you understand. You understand what's pinned. I made a hive mind. I need to make the hive mind bigger, guys. You don't understand. You already sent that one in the Discord. Kind of funny though. Who shot though? Who's the one that shot the bullet? I was not at a disadvantage. I would have a chance to retaliate. Finally, let a bit of courage growing in my chest. Felt a bit of courage growing in my chest. All right, let's go to school. Tighten my grip on Satoshi's bet. He was the only partner I could count on. Gay. Man, you need to get 3-digit CCV on Twitch. You got the 3 part, right? YouTube pins are for DSP dent maxing. You know what? You kind of right, though. You kind of right. We'll keep it at that. I can always do those. Those always stand out. Philly, be the change you want to see in the world. I will say, once I move, I might try hard on YouTube a lot higher. Or, not YouTube, but well, just in general, a lot higher. It depends. I need to, like, come up with a routine. Like, guys, I still haven't made the fucking Magical Girl, like, video yet. But to be fair, the Fest Polls Mika video taught me that being late on a polls vid doesn't matter. It was such horrible reinforcement because I was like, oh, I got 1,000 views on that. Let me see what happens if I do the, what's it called? Moving with your GF? Good one. PvP video guide Doko? I don't even understand it right now. All I know is that this is my strategy so far, guys. 4 tank, Magical Girl Racer, Hibiki. That's my strat right now. And it's called, guys, it's called have everyone live, wait out the clock, and then win due to having more people alive. I haven't done PvP today, though. My face when my narrow polls were 2 months late. Damn. Did you still get views? Because, yeah. You know what it's like. Time my grip. Oh, yeah, I read that. Satoshi, please lend me your strength. And entrust your dying regrets to me, since you were probably murdered. Damn. I'll make sure I dispel them. With a renewed resolve, I checked the clock. It was still early. Of course I was going to school by myself today. I didn't want to run into Renner or Mion. I needed to leave now. The shattered fragments of the cupboard were still strewn all over the entryway. Right. I meant to clean it up last night, but I never got around to it with the phone call and everything. My parents came back and saw this while I was in school. I would never hear the end of it. Still, I'd be wasting time if I cleaned it up right now, and considering what would happen if I ran into Rena or Mion, it wouldn't be too late to clean it up after I got back home. PvP guide, try tank as Hanako, use Yuka disrespect, disrespect, use Uneru, use try tank as Hanako. Here's the thing though, is I keep finding people who quad tank, and whenever I use as Hanako, she'll die, and therefore I'm automatically down in HP, which means I lose due to time. So if I go quad tank, then everyone stays alive, and I kill whoever the fuck anyone with Hibiki, and then I have 4 alive, they have 3 alive, I win. But we'll see. I may just need to position Hanako better to where she doesn't get absolutely bodied. Or I can't attack Hibikis with Hanako. That might be the way. I need to, like, see if anyone has any, like, special... I honestly, I just need to take notes of my bracket. Solve PvP reports with 1.6 million damage. It's such a meme PvP. I kind of like it. I like it and hate it at the same time. It's chud gameplay. Nothing ever happens. Making extra certain that the doors were locked, I left the house. My uniform was still covered in mud from yesterday, so I left it in the washer. Today I was going to school in a tracksuit. I were in a different outfit this morning. My mind was forced to accept that today was different from yesterday. That is low-key a good way to do things. Like, sometimes you want to be different the next day, so you just do something slightly different, and then your mind will be different. Also, the narrow pulls gave me the funniest deleted comment I've ever gotten. Oh no, what happened? I had a hunch. Today might be the day I get killed. That's nice. Keep your guard up, Keiichi Maebara. Nagisa. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if this is worthy of what you... Yeah, that's decent. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. The only one who gets to decide if today is, my last is me. Ooh, bat time. Spent the morning practicing my swing like it was my natural routine. For a while, Rena arrived at school. Our eyes met, but we said nothing. Rena said nothing about last night, as if it never happened. But I could see that those events were real by the wounds carved into her fingers. I just heard her telling Satoko and the others that the bandages were from hurting herself in the kitchen. Though it wasn't like it bothered me. Details that Oishi-san shared about Rena's incident before her transfer played vividly in my mind. This is already reposted in every BA space 5 times already. Wait. I have not seen. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Hold on. Damn. Now that I knew about it, I couldn't even dream of Rena as a cute ideal girl. Damn. I'm Mion. Hey-chan, I see you're still aiming for the nationals. It was Mion. I already sensed her approach, so I wasn't that surprised. Oh, Mion. If you understand, then leave me alone, bitch. Miyomanko? How Miyo? Oh, that's a Manko. Nice. I'm busy practicing. I gave her a curt reply without my usual jokes. Then I gave the bat an even larger swing, I don't know that word, keeping Mion from getting any closer. Hey, Kei-chan, take it easy. I think Mion got the message, but she still urged me to give it a rest. Homeroom's not that far off, is it? Just let me finish practicing. I swung the bat even harder as a sign of my refusal. Hey, Chan, when did you get into baseball? Just recently. Recently, you mean yesterday? Don't ask if you already know. Oh dear. Found an ancient Blue Archive screenshot? How ancient? That's a very unsportsmanlike reply, damn. Everybody be jump scared in general, what'd you do? How jump scary? Where? What do you mean? What's the jump scare? You're distracting me. Go away. I ignored Mion and kept swinging. Why is she smiling? Normally she'd get mad or bored and leave if someone gave her the cold shoulder like this. But Mion just stood there, waiting patiently for me to stop swinging. I didn't sense any hostility. But we were at school in plain view. I doubt she'd suddenly attack me here. Or was that too naive? Yeah, I was starting to get tired. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take a break and hear her out. You need me for something, right? Was it? What is it? Sweat poured from me as I stopped swinging. I noticed my shoulders were heaving as I breathed. I cursed my lack of exercise. Damn, just like you guys. Did you see the state of my Shanako 6 months ago? Nope. Oh, I see you posted it. Sir, where's her weapon? Have you ever tried playing the game, man? Man, that's something. That's something. All right. Yeah, we'll pretend I didn't see that. Okay. At this rate, I may not be able to move as needed when the time came. I should probably I should probably keep practicing my swings to build up stamina in addition to the use for carrying the bat around me. I was about to comment on the Bond 20 first, and then I saw why it was Bond 20, and I was like, oh, see, that's a reason. Well, it's nothing important. If you're tired, I can ask again later. That was fine. I'm only dealing with you right now because I judge the situation to be safe. Talking to you alone and away from others, that's out of the question. Well, Mion was uncharacteristically trying to choose her words. But unlike Oishi-san, it didn't look like she was going to talk about something I'd rather not hear. Mion was puzzled, trying to find the right thing to say. But then she gave a hearty laugh to break herself out of that mire. So man's just no good at this stuff. Having a poor vocabulary hurts. Damn, dumbass. What's this all of a sudden? There's something to say, just say it. Stop it. Stop that swinging. She goes straight to the point. Okay. Her request was so frank, I didn't understand it for a moment. I had already stopped swinging to listen to her, hadn't I? I just stopped, didn't I? That's not what I meant. I want today to be the last day you swing that bat. I'm sorry. Give me some time to understand what she was asking for. What's wrong with swinging a bat? Why? None of your business, is it? I'm not bothering anyone, am I? You are. I said it flat out. This didn't make any sense, and that was really irritating. When did I bother anybody? You send Mr. Wait, hold on. Yes, he did. And I said it was me. My bad. Man was at a loss for words. She finally made up her mind and spoke. Though she stuttered as she said it. But because Ch.1, that's someone else's bat. Ooh. Didn't borrow without permission. It was left behind by a student who transferred, right? I'm just borrowing it until he comes back for it. Huh? Ah, yeah, he transferred. And you're proud as rage bait? Oh no. Leon grew uncharacteristically flustered. That made it all too clear that his transfer was a lie. But strange, isn't it? For the older brother to transfer by himself, while his little sister stayed behind. Leon couldn't hide her reaction as my words shook her up. Kei-chan, you knew? Satoshi Hojo. Satoko's older brother, right? The one demon away last year? Unable to respond to that, Mion fell silent. Rena asked the same thing. Why did you start swinging that bat? Homoerotic? Okay, hold on. This seems serious, but I'll check it out. I've seen that before, Sag. Oh. Dome Satoshi did the same. Practicing his swings. Right before he went missing. So, is this some kind of omen for Oyashiro-sama's curse? Shh. Mio panicked and looked around. Hey, Chan, don't mention Oyashiro-sama so recklessly. Oh, this is a new expression. Oh, shit. I don't believe in him, but the others very much do. Rena especially. Wait, what? Dangerously so? Anyway, you're scaring everyone. You're just fooling around, then stop it. You have to stop acting like Satoshi. I was the one who was scared. Who do I have to thank for taking up this bet in the first place? But it still unsettled me knowing that my actions were overlapping with Satoshi's. It would be one thing if someone suggested it, but I thought I was making my own decisions. I'll say this now. I don't know anything about Satoshi. After all, you didn't tell me anything about him. We didn't mean to hide it. You were hiding the incidents that happen every year, right? Weren't you? That's because we didn't want to, you want to scare me? That's your reason for leaving me out? No, we didn't mean to. Mion, I asked you directly if something happened at the dam, didn't I? And you told me nothing happened. When someone was dismembered and murdered, you lied to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. Friends don't hide things from each other, right? Not right? Then then you all aren't my friends. Fuck. Wait, would you say? Labao. Musume Diddy Party. That's a good one. Kei-chan, Mion looked helpless and flustered. Was I imagining the tears in her eyes? I never could have imagined Mion acting like this. Oh, by the way, those get well mochi you brought the other day, they were good. I thought I was gonna bleed. Who did it? You? Or Rena? Me. Huh? She made it so easily. I couldn't help but be surprised at how easy that was. Could have killed me. How could you do that to a friend? But it was just a little prank. It was just a prank, bro. Mion gave me a wry smile mixed with confusion, causing even more anger to well up inside me. You think that was a prank? Grabbed Mion by the collar and lifted her up. It wasn't the same as putting Tabasco sauce in a piece of mochi. It was a needle, a Zoe needle. I had swallowed that, and it lodged in my throat. What did she think would happen? Mion's face froze as her body rattled in fear. This wasn't the Mion Sonozaki I knew anymore. Anyways, you're not my friend. There's no reason for me to listen to someone who's not my friend. Just leave me alone for a while. Got it? Mion wasn't replying anymore. Won't be that easy to erase me, you know. Cops have been on to you from the start. So don't think you can make me disappear like you did Satoshi. I said it clearly. This was my declaration of war. I think you guys are suspects in the previous incidents too. I also know you've spent a lot of time with the cops ever since the anti-dam movement. Don't think you can hide it from me. Got that? How did you know? Mion stood there with a dumbstruck look on her face. That was when I heard the principal ringing the bell for school. It was time for morning homeroom. Let's go. Class representative needs to be there, right? Right? At that moment, for the first time, I realized Mion was sobbing as tears rained down her cheeks. You're so mean, Kei-chan. Me? I wanted to console her, but I shut my mouth. I had no need to feel guilty. I'm going. Don't be late for homeroom. Left Mion still shaking as I turn around to head for the entrance. I had no idea how troubling it was to make a girl cry. I know what you mean, man. I know. But sometimes they're just stupid and crying because they're stupid. But it's the worst part because then you feel bad, but you're like, no. No, why are you feeling bad? They're the ones that are stupid. No. How do you deal with that, guys? Behind my back, I could hear her muttering. It was a faint mutter as she was speaking to herself. That's how it is? Huh? She wasn't saying it to anyone. It was Mion talking to herself. But it was a sobbing voice that had a kind of giddy, cursing tone. I inadvertently stopped and turned back towards her. So it was that bastard. He leaked it all to Kei-chan. Ma'am, do you need any eye drops? Your eyes are a little red. Don't do drugs, kids. She balled up her fists as her tears continued to rain down. She glared at a spot in the ground. With a terrifying yet smiling face, cursing. Over down my spine from that demonic expression. This transformation, Mion's transformation was different from Rena's. Should have killed him back then. He forgot the mercy I showed him just because he was going to retire this year. Retiring this year? Talking about Oishi-san? Damn it, I'm gonna kill the damn old man. Forgive this Mio guy that spoiled me the JP Venom Facebook, damn. Felt like the air itself had begun distorting. Favorite Gehenner is Haruka, kinda based. Mine's Mootski. They're best friends, so it's okay. With Mion at the center, the world had begun to twist and spiral. Bending. Whirling. This was the first time I'd experienced such a visage. Rise. Tension. Mion made up an excuse for her red eyes by saying there was something wrong with her contacts. Nah, I did the kush, man. Nah. Dude, imagine showing up to school like high, but it's like high school. To be fair, people did do weed in high school. I just never noticed because I didn't know anything about weed at the time. I smelled in the bathroom a few times, but I could never tell when someone was high, right? Like I don't experience enough high people to know that. I probably could now, but even then, it's a lot easier to know when someone's drunk than when they're high. You know what I mean? After that, neither Rena nor Mion spoke to me for the rest of the day. Damn. Neither Satoko nor Rika-chan looked me in the eye. Strangely, I didn't feel hurt. Everything had just went back to the way it was. Months since I transferred in had been almost too much fun. That was all. School was supposed to be something like this to begin with. I should have disliked that feeling, but today it felt oddly refreshing. Yeah, dude, that's awkward when you're in so much fear that loneliness is better. That's down. Bell rung, sounding the end of the monotonous school day, which had felt so tense yet so dull. Since it would cause a lot of unpleasant memories if they asked me to join in the club activities, I probably started preparing to go home without even looking at them. I stuffed the contents of my desk into my bag, wrapped my hand around Satoshi's now familiar bat, and began heading towards the end. Why'd you borrow UE30? That's some mental illness, right? And that's an old tweet when you have the 0 likes on it. That's crazy. I know what you mean, though. I was assailed by both the exhausting relief that nothing had happened today and the tiring possibility of the same thing repeating tomorrow. But deep down, inside me, far beneath, in the recesses of my heart, achingly, I knew this would be the last day of this cycle. I couldn't tell how the ending would be. Whether it would end as I wished it to end, or if it would end as I hoped it wouldn't. Regardless, in my current state, there was something more important than how things would end. There was something I wanted to know. Why did I have to be killed? How did it come to this? Why? For what purpose? Sunlight was relentless. The sun, the heat, even the air. They wouldn't give me my answers. Could it be that the cries of the Higurashi were desperately trying to tell me something? Damn. Somewhere mixed in with their shrieks, Tomitake-san and Satoshi were also probably trying to tell me something. I simply haven't been able to realize it yet. When I do realize it, I wonder if I will be amongst the Higurashi fruitlessly crying to the next victim. Glancing down at the feet, I saw a Higurashi on its back spasming weakly. Oh wow, it's doing the sound effects for me. There was still much of the summer left, yet this one was already tripping its last song. I couldn't tell what it was saying, no matter how hard I listened. Audio will see this and type silly words. Damn. I would too, to be fair. I like me a girl failure like that. TBH, Nagisa having a messy room would be such peak character idea. But I had to try. Have you ever been in Nagisa's room? I had to try to listen to what it was desperately trying to tell me. That moment, the shrills of the Higurashi ceased all at once. Check comments? Oh no. 18 seconds ago, this motherfucker. Oh damn, that is foreshadowing. At that moment, the shrills of the Higurashi ceased all at once. As if they had huddled together, fearing that the person who'd brought them to their dreadful fate had arrived. There was no mistaking it. A presence was approaching. Fucking fear and hunger ass dialogue. Sound of footsteps was almost non-existent. The Higurashi hadn't warned me by ending their chirping. I wouldn't have noticed. Exhaustion left me in a heartbeat. In its place was a rush of adrenaline that sharpened all of my senses. I was just barely able to hold back that creeping, suffocating feeling of horror. It wasn't something I could hold back for long. First lunatic won't be Bina? What's it gonna be? You can't do Shirokuro. That lunatic is not a lunatic. Oh, I see. Okay. Fair. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, Sakurako, please. But in this moment, when I needed to be razor sharp, I was able to retain my composure. Truth, yes. I wasn't going to shout like I did yesterday. I hid myself calmly amongst the trees, waiting for my pursuer's shadow. I could get them to pass me. No, since I was able to hear the footsteps, they were probably also able to hear mine. They might have already been able to tell that I've hidden myself and I was holding my breath. Person tailing me was it Rena, just like yesterday? If it was Rena, I wouldn't hold back. I could just yell at her and make her go ahead like yesterday. If it wasn't Rena, it would depend on how they acted, I guess. Footsteps ampled closer. Swallowed to wipe my clammy hands on my pants and readjusted the grip on the bat. I could tell that the fear I had beaten that I had beaten back once was now waiting for another opening to come at me. Who could it be? I peeked out from behind the tree at the person following me. Hi. My imagination hadn't led me astray. It was Rena. There was a bit of relief as I realized it was someone I knew, but that feeling left me in an instant. This wasn't the same Rena that I knew. Her eyes were dark and lifeless. Her mouth appeared as if it was carved into a crescent. Yes, it looked like she was grinning slightly. And in her right hand was an axe. I hid myself behind the tree once again and recalled the unbelievable sight I just saw. What was that just now? An embodiment of terror laid bare. Baseball, practicing my swing. There were tons of excuses for me to be carrying a bat. But for that axe? There's no excuse for that. An axe? Just like that? Ichi-kun? Are you playing hide and seek? I wonder. Oh, that's kind of terrifying. My heart was pounding. Hard enough that I had trouble breathing. What little composure I had been able to hold on to was now crushed. And in its place, cold sweat gushed forward, covering my entire body, letting me know precisely what kind of emotion that had taken hold. Not good. Not good. Not good. I wasn't able to hide myself completely. You already knew I was here. Are you trying to scare me? I wonder. I decided that it would be better to reveal myself now, since there was still space between us, than to allow Rena to come any closer. I adjusted my grip on the bat again, readied myself mentally, and stepped out from behind the tree. Found you, Keiichi-kun. Rena was pleased that she found me, eliciting a mysterious giggle. Her mouth was smiling, but her eyes told me she was displeased by the fact that I had been hiding. Those eyes, they were just so empty. My legs began to quiver. Not good. Bit of my stomach, some sort of viscous hot and cold substance began spreading around. If I allowed it, the substance would slip into my bloodstream and undoubtedly freeze all the organs in my body. Not good, not good. Be devoured by Rena at this rate. Lucky. Strike back! Don't lose. What is it? I blustered, hiding behind my bravado. Rena didn't flinch one bit. Just the same as Keiichi-kun. I'm heading home. Then what about that axe? And what about that bat you're holding? It's a little different, ma'am. Practicing my swing. And I'm treasure hunting. What the fuck? Rena gave a flippant explanation as to why she had such a fearsome weapon. Treasure hunting? The treasure mountain near the dam site. I found a new cute thing. But I needed this to dig it out. How can I believe that? You wouldn't believe it, would you? Rena's laugh was obviously very strange. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I'd seen Rena's transformation many times before. Forgive me, but God will not damn. But the one today was completely different. Like her mischievous tone and the shrewd glint in her eyes. It wasn't something that roundabout. I'm not sure what to say. It was just so obvious. Wait, Keiichi-kun? Rena didn't stop walking, even as she let out that eerie laugh. Whenever Rena got too close to me, I would scurry away and turn back towards her. The cycle repeated over and over. No matter how you looked at it, I was being chased by Rena and was trying to escape. But don't follow me! I can't do that. My house is this way after all. When I met with Rena on this road yesterday, she cowered and trembled as she followed my commands. But today was different. Rena didn't show a hint of trepidation. Actually, wasn't I the only one who was cowering? The way home for Rena was and me was the same. That's fine. I just changed my route. That'll work out, wouldn't it? I turned onto a side street I'd never been down and knew little about. Rena saw me do that and followed me while laughing. Why? Why? Aren't you going home? Just go home down the street you normally do. Why would you follow me down this weird little side road? Those thoughts screamed in my head, eventually spilling out of my mouth. Why are you following me? And my voice was already tinged with terror. Because I want to talk with Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-kun wants to talk to Rena too, doesn't he? I don't want to talk about anything with you. That's a lie, isn't it? There's something you want to ask me about, isn't there? Not at all. I have nothing to talk to you about. That's a lie, isn't it? Not a lie. Rena's scream echoed, startling some nearby birds into flight. I cringed in fear. The only thing I could do was increase my pace. Ma'am, I need to file a restraining order. Let's talk, Keiichi-kun. Talk. Why was I running down this unfamiliar deserted street? Doesn't Keiichi-kun have something he's worried about? Nothing at all. Not worried about anything. Lies. I don't like doing this laugh. It's annoying. Even though I was running. Even though Rena was walking. Why wasn't I getting any farther away? I know. I really do know. You're scared, aren't you, Keiichi-kun? I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. Lies. My breathing grew heavy, and it felt like my legs were giving out from beneath me. Rena was even breaking a sweat. Peter Griffin all laugh, I know, right? That's what it turned into. Fucking NASA doxed you. Me too, for some reason. Joke's on you. You think they actually get photographs from space? Those are all fake. Earth is actually flat. Rena was even breaking a sweat. I'll listen. This time I'll listen. I had no idea what she was talking about, or what exactly she wanted to do. This time I'll listen. It would be different from the time with Satoshi-kun. When she said Satoshi's name, I turned back for a moment. But even if I did that, Rena was still advancing. Space isn't real. True. We're in the firmament. Damn. Yeah, look up Operation Fishbowl, guys. Wonder why they gave it that name, huh? Saw Philly's house from the ISS the other day. Damn. Is it as run down as he acts like it is? I couldn't afford to stop. Satoshi-kun was worried too. It looked like he was having such a hard time. But I didn't listen. I was so sad. Where did this street connect to? These twists and turns, ups and downs. It was hard to believe that this was even remotely in the direction towards my house. My sense of direction had long since gone out the window. I really regretted it when Satoshi-kun transferred out. I thought if I had listened, he might not have transferred out. I really regretted that. The road led me deeper into the forest. Wasn't I getting farther away from the village the more I ran? A serious question, how serious? Lost more and more of my composure the more I thought about it. But despite this realization, my inner self was still disturbingly calm. You see, I vowed. I vowed that if there was someone struggling like Satoshi-kun did, I'd save them. I don't want to see anyone transfer out again. How does... I don't know how to respond to that, especially with the preface of serious question. So I could answer seriously, or I can joke. I don't think I can answer that seriously. So I kind of okay. Let me answer seriously. They don't have drinkable water. You can use undrinkable water. Technically, like, water is abundant in most places. It's not drinkable. Damn it. What does transfer even mean? Oh, you transfer me. I'll transfer my cum into your... Never mind. I will end up the same as Satoshi. Come on, Keiichi-kun, talk to me. I'll be able to understand you, Keiichi-kun. I'm your ally. I started wheezing out of breath. My lungs were so hot, they felt like they were going to explode, and my heart was beating as hard as it possibly could. I should have practiced running instead of my swing. I couldn't even afford to scoff at that stupid thought. Keiichi-kun doesn't have anything to worry about. He'll go back to normal. I'll check general. Alright. Alright. The Azusa? Oh, I love that. Zoozers. Oh, dirt works too. Technically, you just need to, like, snuff out the oxygen. That's really it. Anyway, if Keiichi doesn't have anything to worry about, he'll go back to normal. Everyone will be back to being friends, and we can enjoy club activities again. Next time, we'll team up and beat me-chan. Now the video above. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. I don't remember. Even though this just happened, I don't remember this context at all. To see my swing, there were tons of excuses for me to be carrying a bat. But for that axe, there's no excuse for that. An axe, just like that. Wait, I didn't realize this was your video. Wait, hold on. What are you doing here? Excuses for me to be carrying a bat. But for that axe, there's no excuse for that. An axe, just like that. Damn. Are you playing that's how they do it? Wait, that's cool. Wait, I never... Can I do that too? I can't do that. What the fuck? Where do you get more perks for modding than me? Or is it because I'm in manager? What if I go to, like, come back to Twitch? Channel. What the fuck? Ah, I hear myself. I can't do that. Anyway, damn. Ooh. Yeah, how much fun that would be. And I couldn't even imagine how much I had wished I could turn back the clock on these past few days. It could be nice to me again, too. I want to go searching for treasure again. This time I'll prepare a nice lunch. Actually, we could just go right now. Let's go up to the dam site together. I'll show you the cute thing I just found. I'm sure you'll like it too. My footsteps made pathetic flapping sounds as my legs wobbled and faltered. Hot on my heels, running steps were sharply breaking twigs underfoot. Using 7TV as an extension for more quality of life and more emote spamming. Oh. I had to accept it. I was on the run, being chased by Rena. She caught me. It was all over. Fucking Dwayne Johnson is playing as Maui on Moana live action. I will say that fits though. Wait. That fits though. Like, that's actually a good casting choice. He is Pacific Islander, but hasn't he, like, lost a lot of muscle? Can he even do it? He has to, like, start roiding up again, but isn't he too old for that? I realized it instinctively. I couldn't even begin to think of what the end would entail. He has hair? Oh, shit. Yeah, never mind. I forgot about that. Oh, okay, yeah. It's over. Unfortunate. Just that if I was caught, it was all over. That's all I knew. Didn't matter how it was going to end. I wouldn't let it end. Not without knowing anything. Not yet. That momentary lapse was all it took. For all the things that could have happened, my knees buckled underneath me and I crumpled towards the ground. I tried to stand frantically, urging my legs to respond. I used my bat as a makeshift cane to prop myself up, but Rena was already standing right in front of me. Compared to me, out of breath and utterly exhausted, Rena was so cool and composed that she could have froze the air around her. She wasn't breathing hard at all, rather, I couldn't even sense her heart was beating. Are you afraid of something? I wonder. Not like you tremble, Keiichi-kun. Her expression looked almost affectionate. Those soulless eyes, that mask of affection. As she admonished me for trembling, Rena's hands deftly slipped over her head. The blur of arms as I moved made me feel I was staring at the godliness of the thousand-armed Buddha. Then, as both of her hands met above her head, the axis she held came into focus. I stared at it in disbelief. It was all I could do. Tell me, what happened to Satoshi? Rena stayed like that, the axe raised above her head, and solemnly opened her mouth. It was as if she was expressing a farewell to a friend she was never to see again. That cruel scenario resided somewhere in her actions. I told you. Satoshi-kun transferred out. Enough of that transfer crap. It means damn it away, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You can tell me now, can't you? Who made Satoshi-kun disappear? Was it you? Mion? Or someone in the village? Answer me. I became frantic the more I screamed, but Rena did nothing but maintain the smile frozen on her face. I have no idea what Keiichi-kun is talking about. And I'll say it in a way so you do. Who's the perpetrator of this chain of mysterious deaths? You seem to be confused, Keiichi-kun. What? There is no human perpetrator. Everything is by Oyashiro-sama's will. Isn't Oyashiro-sama's curse just superstition? You believe in that too? It's not about believing it or not. Oyashiro-sama exists. Period. Rena's gaze grew even more gelid. I don't know words. Ferocity of her stare was so intense, not allowing me to question anything. There's just no way that something like Oyashiro-sama could exist. You don't believe in Oyashiro-sama? There's no way I could believe it. There's no way it could exist. It exists. Oyashiro-sama exists. Ichi-kun should have felt it personally. I never felt something like that. Ichi-kun, haven't you felt someone apologizing to you before? No. Constantly on top of that? All that noise from the outside world disappeared. Only Rena's voice resounded loudly and terribly. You see, until you forgive them, they'll always be with you. At school, at home, at your bedside. I can understand what Rena was saying. Came to me too. Ashiro-sama did. That was why I transferred and came back to Hinamizawa. I don't understand. What does transfer even mean? What was Rena saying? Hasn't Oyashiro-sama come to you as well, Keiichi-kun? I'm probably the only one who you can confide in. I won't let you transfer out. Okay? Rena's demented laughter clanged around inside my head. Was Rena saying Oyashiro-sama came to her as well? That's right. Last night I heard about that when I asked about Rena. Please keep this confidential. Also, part of this may be speculation. Not all of it may be true. Are you still interested? Oishi-san began speaking. Neither the victims nor the school filed a complaint. There's no preliminary report. Basically, the police hadn't intervened in this matter. All these details are just what I heard from those involved. Meaning, it's not that credible. That there were victims? Didn't Rena just break all the windows? No, Rena Ryugu had attacked 3 boys. Oh, should have been me. Using a metal bat. That's alright. 2 of them made it out with only bruises, but the other had been injured so bad that one of his eyes was permanently damaged. Okay, maybe not that guy. I'd rather be the one than with bruises, okay? But wouldn't that be considered assault? Didn't the police have arrested her? For whatever reason, the victim never pressed charges. Never mind. I don't care if a woman beats you, you should press charges, guys. There are no reports to the police, so. They were beaten with a bat and suffered significant injuries. Normally there would be a criminal investigation. But why didn't they press charges? I tried asking the 3 male victims for their side of the story, but they all were reluctant. Hard to say, but they were all afraid. Damn. Nakadashi Hoshino, I would like to. Yes. I see. I like the way those are drawn. Very nice. Hard to say, but they were all afraid. Even after she had transferred schools. Oishi-san? Could you summarize it starting from the beginning? Rena hit people while she broke the windows? Or was it she started breaking the windows after she got bored of hitting people? Or the other way around? It sounded similar, but the meanings were drastically different. On an undisclosed date, Rena Ryugu was conversing with 3 male students, close friends of hers, near the pool storage shed. Whore! I understand the situation now. Who are those 3? I can't reveal their names, but you've already revealed so much. Like, why? You can reveal the names, but they were close to Rena Ryugu, and it seems they were a group of friends. She was the lone girl in the group. I understand the situation. I understand. Wait, was this middle school? Did they do that back then? I don't know. So it wasn't that strange for the that the 4 of them were together. What happened? I don't know the reason why. Took the baseball team's bat that was in the pool storage shed and beat the 3 of them down one after the other. Dogs getting railed on 3 different holes. How do you do that? Like, I understand too, spit roasting is a very simple concept, but where's the 3rd guy go? And how does he position himself? I think I could figure it out. But that'd be so uncomfortable. Damn. Hate to be the 3rd guy, to be fair. I wouldn't even mind being the mouth guy. What? There were no witnesses. This was an account pieced together by the information given at the time of the incident. One day after school, Ren and the 3 male students were at the pool storage shed talking together. They weren't seeking help, rather, they usually met up there. It appears it became a heated discussion. That time, Rena underwent a change. Ah, yes, classic woman. You'd be staring at the balls or another guy's face. Exactly, and you don't want to do that. Change was so abrupt, the 3 of them didn't comprehend what was happening. Also, you'd have to put yourself in such an uncomfortable position, like contort yourself because the other guy will be in the way. Well, friendly fire, true. Then, taking the metal bat, she attacked her friends one after the other. Oh, that's not good. Even her friends covered in blood with gashes on their heads, she made her way towards the school building. Me when the localization is bad. Then she broke the glass windows one after the other. A few minutes later, a teacher appeared on the scene and subdued her. What was this change Rena underwent? No one really took off this month? Website. Oh! Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, I see. Yeah, I love the little halo there. That's kind of funny. What was this change Rena underwent? What matches up in the statements from the other 3 was a sudden change. The point that there was a transformation. Transformation? Big General? Goddamn. I banned that guy for saying that. I will not have another Toho meme be in the Blue Archive community. I do not want to hear what anime is this. I'm gonna be serious. I hope it's bait. Ban him anyway. Ban for rage bait. Which Halo from BA did the Dojin scene in is a what Halos from BA what? Did to Dojin scene is in yeah, that's true. Transformation? Also could recall Rena's transformation. I'd seen that change many times before. It was so different from the usual Rena that I couldn't help but believe it was someone else who looked like Rena. The transformation they're talking about, had it happened before? No, there was nothing like that. As far as I could find out in her medical history and past, there was nothing like that. Does that happen often? Where people where people change suddenly like Rena did? Of course it does. There are plenty of psychological phenomena that could cause something like that. Damn. Then you're saying there was a dormant element in Rena that caused that transformation? Why are you letting her around places? You gotta lock her up. Put her in a silly facility. Give her the white room. Got too silly, guys. I cannot say that for certain. But according to the statements of her friends, it's hard to believe that she had such a side to her. Kind, caring, and adorable. Before she transferred here, she was probably pretty popular in school like she was now. That girl transforming suddenly and assaulted them with a bat. Who could imagine such a thing? Nobody could have seen it coming. I myself sometimes believe that I was mistaken for thinking that was Rena even now. Then, what happened after that? Sure, it's Eevee from Pokemon. There was a hospital right across from the school, so the three of them were carried in and treated quickly. What about Rena? What about the police? Why wasn't there a criminal investigation? See, the police can't get involved unless they're called. Is that true? So am I. I moved myself. I slowly moved to the right as I've been going on. It's kind of funny. Even though one was badly injured with permanent damage? Why didn't they file charges? That's what caught my attention as well. Either some threat or pressure was placed on them. That's not good. Or they had a reason they couldn't file charges even if they wanted to. We're talking about you, after all. Of course you looked into it, didn't you? Well, but I told you at the beginning, didn't I? That the victims were all very reluctant to talk. They didn't want to touch on the matter, or rather, they didn't want to be involved. The PvP season forgets to enable skip battle button. Forced to watch Sisyphus push a boulder uphill. Timer runs out. Yep. The problem is that you need to know why you win or lose too, especially in the beginning of the season, just so you can build accordingly. And so I'm forced to watch the whole thing. Reluctant to talk. They want to touch it. They want to be involved. Resembled the villagers here and Oyashiro-sama's curse. This horror series is literally kind of making fun of the Japanese like cultural thing of not wanting to get involved. Truly hell. I know. Kevin, don't you agree? This is the only reason this horror element exists is because Japanese people don't like confrontation. This is actually the reason no one's willing to be like, hey, what the fuck? Did the teachers at the school tell you anything? No. School is hollowed ground, damn. You could say they tend to keep scandals under wraps. Wow. Who? I didn't have a search warrant, so I had to tread lightly, you see. Then there was no comment from the school? Nope. They denied the incident even happened. Classic. That's a classic right there. Woo-wee. Damn, it's never happened before in Japan. It's just 3 male students were carried in for blunt force trauma that day. Casual. That's all there was in the hospital records. Victims didn't speak, the school denied it happened. Then you don't know anything at all. Yeah. I know nothing other than the incident itself had taken place. The victims also wish this incident to be kept from the public, so if you and I both forget about it, Mayabata-san, then this incident will probably just fade away. For a brief period, we sat in silence. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. At first glance, it looked like a simple assault case. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Depths were obscured by rolling waves, sinking quietly into the void, as if it never existed to begin with. After that, she was suspended by the school. I would think so. And during that time, she underwent psychiatric counseling. Yeah. Did you hear anything from that doctor? Again, they were very professional in regards to their ethics. Or at least very tight-lipped. Nothing even after you showed them your badge? I was told to get a warrant. Badge itself has no legally binding authority after all, damn. Then how did you know that Rena confessed that it was Oyashiro-sama who did it? It was a nurse I asked in that department. I just asked the intern, they spilled everything. She agreed to help me just from showing her me showing her my badge. No! That's actually pretty fucking smart. But Moe is one of those characters that seem unlikely would be attracted to, but let's see why. I see why. Yeah, I can see that. I prefer, like, when it comes to like that size, I prefer someone like Neru though. Then what did she say? Turns out the nurse hadn't heard everything. Apparently, all she remembered was what she overheard from inside the room. Nurse said that at the time, Rena Ryugu was very calm and mild-mannered. It was more like she was confessing her sins at church than a counseling session. Spoke with her mother there for some of it, but partway through, her mother was asked to leave, so it became a private counseling session between just the doctor and Rena for a while. The part with Oyashiro-sama, when that popped up. Partway through, she screamed the name suddenly. That startled the nurse, and that's why she started listening in. It was Oyashiro-sama. Rena suddenly shadowed that. I had no idea what was said before that, so I had no idea what the meaning behind it could have been. The doctor calmly and collectedly asked Rena to have a seat. What is this Oyashiro-sama you speak of? Gently, ever so gently. Fundamental part of counseling is to be a good patient listener. Whoever abandons Hinamizawa will be hunted down by Oyashiro. And finally gotten to me. That's the town you lived in before you moved here. That right, Ryugu-san? I didn't want to move, but because of my mom and dad's circumstances, we had to. But Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow. Ryugu-san must have lots of friends in Hinamizawa. Even now you must be missing them dearly, don't you think? I want to go back to Hinamizawa. No, it's not that I want to go back. I have to go back. I should have gone back much sooner. But now it's too late. Oyashiro-sama has come. Oyashiro-sama is the name of the god in Hinamizawa, isn't that right? Everyone knows it's Hinamizawa's guardian deity. And if you ever try abandoning Hinamizawa by leaving, you will incur its wrath. Base Gods Part 2 Transition Enjoyer? Is that a base thing? Oh shit! Okay, that has aura, I will say. Mostly because they're gonna fuck him up. You had moved quite a while ago, didn't you? Then it was just now that this god has arrived, is what you're saying. You might not believe me, but Oyashiro-sama That nurse was then asked by another nurse to do something and left the room. That was all she remembered. That was Oyashiro-sama's doing, right? I do believe there is that kind of superstition in Hinamizawa. Kisaki? Okay. I see. I do believe there is that kind of superstition in Hinamizawa. That if you leave the village, then you incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. You'd be familiar with this part, Mayabata-san. So what happened in the end? Wait, what? I knew very well that those scorned by the village incurred to hinder the dam construction project. They cursed the construction foreman to his death. Then the following year, Satoko's parents, supporters, and leading advocates for the dam were all cursed to their deaths. But this was the first time I heard this curse occurring by leaving the village. This is my first time hearing that. I can understand outside threats being cursed by the village, but why also villagers who leave? Normally people who leave villages aren't supposed to be cursed, right? I know it's a bit strange to say that, but I could see it as a rule that people come in are the ones who would be cursed. Far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. What? Curses weren't something to chase after people that leave, were they? I don't like girls telling me when I hear it, Malkuth. You've said that before. She doesn't look that tall there. But I know what you mean. Problem is, I don't like tall and flat. If they're flat, they need to be short. It's a rule. Malkushi, you're kind of right, though. If Potato said that, I would disqualify half the students. What? Shut the fuck up. No, it just disqualifies, like... Cotton. No, Cotton's the same height as me. That doesn't count. So it disqualifies Shun. Hasumi. Or we're the same height. Jun, Hasumi, and Tsukuyo, right? Is that it? There might be one or two more. I'm forgetting. Curses weren't something to chase after people that leave, were they? And also, Ali Clover is shorter than me. I'll say that. Oishi-san pondered for a bit over on the other end of the receiver, then began speaking again. Well, I told you of long ago when Hinamizawa was called Onikakushi, didn't I? Damn manlet alert. Ali's shorter than me. Ali's shorter than me, Kevin. Jury? Yeah, Jury's taller, I think. I don't remember her height, though. Look who forgot Jury. I just don't remember her height. I know who she is. I recalled hearing that. Long ago, Hinamizawa was feared and respected as the village of demons. Respected? It's not something you respect. Maybe, what's like the infamous... What did Ali do? He's shorter than me. That's what he did. I have to... So this is... You wouldn't know because you're tall, but when short people get accused of being short, they have to call out a shorter person. It's just the rules. He's not even here, but he exists. When Ali on the bus will make you taller, it'll make me taller than him. Excuse me? Oh, that's cute. It's the rule. I'm sorry, I didn't make up the rules. The villagers at the foot of the mountains worship the demons. That's not good. So Onikakushi was hallowed ground you could never enter. Well, yeah. It came to be said that if you enter carelessly, you were cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Those who set foot in Onikakushi, in other words, Hinamizawa, would be cursed. Yeah, slouch more. Oh. Okay, I can't do that. I can't do that. I cannot sit up straight. It's impossible. I could understand that. I know that. But for leaving to also be no good, that's either Arisu and K. I could go an extra round if they did that. Also, the demons, you see. They were being strictly watched by Oyashiro-sama so they would not enter into our world. You know, everything just tells me Oyashiro-sama is the demon himself. You know what I mean? Like, just going based off of like how theology works, that's just the way it is. In other words, Oyashiro-sama probably restricted interaction between Onikakushi and the rest of the world. I finally understood what sort of thing Oyashiro-sama was. So basically, Oyashiro-sama is more like a warden than a protectorate deity, I guess. Trying to keep this place isolated from the rest of the world. This is how it would seem. Sorry, I don't know very much myself. This is mostly what was passed on to me from my mother. Damn. I could understand it a bit better if it was like that. Those who came to Hinamizawa would be cursed. Those who tried to leave would also be cursed. But because Rena originally lived in Hinamizawa and moved away, she fulfilled the requirements for being cursed. That means because Rena moved away against its wishes, she was cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Is that what it adds up to? In short, that seems to be what it points to, I guess. As a matter of fact, soon afterwards, they did move back to Hinamizawa after all. Yomanko, I'll look at that. Kind of a cute meal, yeah. Those who abandoned Hinamizawa and left were cursed. Arisu is drowning. What do you mean? Oh. I see. But then why only Rena? Then Rena's parents also been guilty of the same transgression by moving away and have been cursed. Also, in this day and age in Japan, shouldn't there be a lot of people coming and going? Every single one of them was cursed, then it'd be insane. In reality, it wasn't that big of a deal at all. At most, there would be one person dying and one disappearing on the day of the Watanagashi. I don't like saying at most, though. Anyways, there's a lot I still don't know. Even if it was Oyashiro-sama's curse, it doesn't explain Rena beating her classmates with a metal bat or why the victims wouldn't press charges. You don't think the victims were cowering because they believed that the terrible curse had befallen them, do you? Of course, they didn't want to believe it. But more importantly, I had just realized something else. There was another bizarre connection that Rena made between Oyashiro-sama's curse and metal bats. Satoshi fell victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse and went missing. I'd recently learned that Satoshi had also become infatuated with the metal bat right before he disappeared, just like me. Then Rena as well. She was affected by Oyashiro-sama's curse. He confessed that much to the doctor. And the weapon which she had used at the time of that horrendous act was, again, a metal bat. And finally me. I'd encountered various things that were inexplicable, and now I was holding onto a metal bat. I was shocked when I learned that Satoshi did the same thing. It couldn't be. Had the same thing happened to Rena? There was one critical difference between her and Satoshi's case. That being, Satoshi went missing after falling victim to the curse, but Rena was still here. Both of them had fallen victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse, and yet they were met with different endings. A gun would have solved a lot of problems. Sadly, this is Japan. They can only be based and use a gun in visual novels like Sayo no Uta, where dude, I fucking love how they actually implement a gun in that game, because it's like, she is so fucking done with that shit. She just steals a gun and like, I don't know. Well, I have me playing Sayo no Uta from a long ass time ago on the channel, so you could watch that. But what's it called? You fucking even, it's a shotgun, right? And she saws it off and makes it, sawed off shotguns are even illegal in the US. That's what makes it funny. It's like, yeah, nah, we're fucking breaking the law here. And finally me. I couldn't call it a coincidence anymore. Rena. Satoshi. Finally me. Could it be that I really was under Oyashiro-sama's curse right now? Fully based. You should watch me play it. It's old. And to be fair, I don't think I've uploaded all of it yet, but I kind of am saving that for no reason in particular. You can 100% get a gun in Nonami Town, like in Higurashi, even in Japan. But as a 15-year-old, I think he's 15. I think I looked that up on the wiki. That's the thing. But would it be difficult? But I guess it is rural, so it would probably be more likely than not. Especially with bears. They have bears there, right? Do they have bears that in the mountains there? Or is it just only up north? Okay, not as a kid. To be fair, you can't get a gun as a kid anywhere, so that's fair. Would it be that I really was under Oyashiro-sama's curse right now? Yeah, for hunting / defense. Do they have bears in that part of Japan? But more importantly than that, what should I do now? I definitely know there are bears in Aomori. Yeah, they have bears a lot. Okay. I definitely know they have bears in Aomori, though. And confirm. Satoshi had been demoned away, vanishing without a trace. Rena was fine. Fine? Rena had undergone a change. I could only believe that there was something that wasn't Rena residing within her. And here right now, it was standing before me. Beat her to death. Rena, please tell me. What happened to me? Rena stood imposingly, not answering. Satoshi disappeared, but Rena didn't disappear. Oh, my model died. Why the fuck did it die? Did it crash? Or are we frozen? What's frozen? Oh, we're not frozen anymore. I just had to look at it real quick. Okay, there we go. Satoshi disappeared, but Rena didn't disappear. Am I out of sync? No, never mind. So what happened to me? I'd never heard such an unpleasant laugh before. I'm glad I made it unpleasant then. I had become akin to the sound of her breathing. It was no longer a voice or an expression of feeling. Don't worry. I'll save you. Rena took one step forward, still holding the axe high above her head. Ma'am? Never mind, I can't make that joke. This is not the answer. Now then. One step closer, Rena's face spread out to fill my vision. Speak! One step closer. Rena's nose was close enough to touch mine, and was still pushing closer. There's something you want to say, isn't there? I'll listen. Ow, that hurt my ears. You guys hear that? I'll save you, okay? Speak, okay? Speak, okay? I slumped down, landing squarely on my butt. It wasn't for some pathetic reason. It was all I could do to get as far away from Rena. Ah. I had the gut feeling that I couldn't let her laughter end, because when that laughing ended, the moment I picked up on that feeling, my body moved by instinct, pricked at my feet so fast I couldn't believe it, and pushed Rena away with both hands. Rena was as light as a feather. Thrown about by the unbalanced weight of the axe, she was sent backwards as if she had been carried off by the wind. Mosquito-ass laugh, true. After confirming that out of the corner of my eyes, I dashed off at full speed. I was the perfect picture of fleeing like a greased pig. Get away from Rena. Run away. Survive. Couldn't think of anything other than this. While I was running, I remembered I'd been holding on to a bat the entire time. Such a worthless weapon. I couldn't believe I'd forgotten about this weapon at such an important time. I sped even farther down the winding path. I didn't even feel myself gasping for breath or my legs getting heavy. My body understood it all, understood it as well. If I didn't run away from here, I wouldn't live. I could hear the laughter of that simulacrum, of Rena coming from behind me. It ran through the trees and in my head, and slowly chiseled away at my sanity. Ow, that hurt my eyes. I think it says to enter, right? Right? The grove of trees thinned out, and my field of vision suddenly expanding. Where was this? For a moment I was bewildered by the scenery I felt I knew, but couldn't quite remember. Quickly realized, is this the dam? It was the dam site. Hell yeah, I knew it. The fact that I dashed madly and ended up in a place like this gave me a bad feeling, like I was following someone's scripted plot. I mean, you are, to be fair, but it's not important. I had a good view of my surroundings, but I didn't see a single soul here. This was a terrible spot for someone on the run, but there was no better place for an attacker. My heart was already on the verge of bursting. The muscles on my legs were screaming, but I didn't care. If I stopped here, then they might not even be able to scream for much longer. Even still, I glanced back, looking for an excuse to rest. Rena wasn't there. Instead, I saw two villagers walking around. I breathed a sigh of relief that it wasn't Rena, but a third party. Except the voice inside me ran the alarm once again. Villagers walking around weren't suspicious in and of itself, but it bothered me. They were both rough-looking clothes, empty-handed, and definitely gave the impression they were just out for a walk. But at this time of day, two adults wandering around without a purpose, it was enough to raise questions. More than anything else, those eyes. They weren't chit-chatting while walking. They were both silent, heading forward, looking in my direction. Was I at the end of my rope, and had finally started imagining things? I should run away. It was probably the best choice. If they weren't involved, I'd lose them easily by running. They were part of the group after me, then they would come running after me. Either way, unless I hurried up, Rena would catch up with me. Right, I was gonna run. Then, deciding that, the moment I began to turn tail, both of them rushed towards me as if they knew exactly what I was thinking. Somewhere inside me, I had jumped to the conclusion that Rena was the only thing I needed to be afraid of. I made the assumption I didn't need to fear anything else. Right now, I just realized how blatantly wrong I was. Suddenly, the story of Oishi-san told me about the demons all leaving the village to hunt prey floated to the back of my mind. I could tell they were both coming after me without even turning around because of their frenetic footsteps. It was frightening, being unable to shake Rena off as she slowly closed in on me, but this didn't even compare. Being pursued with such violent ferocity, the straightforward horror was unparalleled. One of the pursuer's arms grazed my shoulder. Now it wasn't just their frenzied footsteps, but also the distinct sound of the breathing that I could hear. No, I could practically feel them breathing on me. They were already right behind me. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. They were running at full tilt. I felt the surrounding area go still. Nah, it felt like time itself had stopped. I turned my head slightly in that frozen world, realizing how close my pursuers had gotten to me. I couldn't win against the legs of an adult. Damn. Don't underestimate an adult. Ow, that hurt my... Ow, that hurts. in less than the time it would take to blink twice. When this frozen time began moving again, they'd be right on top of me. On top of me, and then... think about it, Keiji. First realize that you won't be able to shake them off like this. In fact, if the fact that you can't get away was given, then you need to make a decision. Go with the right leg or with the left. You just need to decide which one. Let's go with the left. We'll decide that the temporal singularity burst into pieces. Right. Left. I swung the bat in a wide arc with my right arm. Using that inertia, I stopped and suddenly spun. Whoa! The two of them were clearly startled, momentarily losing sight of me, both with their outstretched arms ready to grab me, instead grasp at empty space. Empty space, I can't read. The man on the right, I applaud him from being able to figure it out, spun around to the spot I shouldn't have been and faced me in astonishment. But it was too late. I didn't even need to swing my bat. All I needed to do was extend my arms as I turned around. It was by no means a heavy blow, but it seems like I had enough power behind it to knock him off his feet. But just knocking him down wasn't enough to scare him away. He got back up in no time. Ow. Both of them took a fighting stance and were ready to face me. This made me certain they weren't just two people out for a walk. They were clearly after me. Felt much easier than dealing with Rena. Just by not recognizing their faces, by not knowing them, it made things easier. I smiled wryly on the inside. What do you want with me? Next one's gonna be right in your face, you bastard. It is fine if it was just a bluff. By barking out at them, I was able to fire myself up. They didn't respond. They spread out to either side of me with unbelievable calm expressions on their faces. One of them would grab my bat and the other would hold me down. Was that their plan? Taking them both of them at once would be impossible. Hot sweat poured from every pore in my body. Then I'd just have to settle it with the first move. I'd step in and strike the first one down. Narrowing my target down to the man on the right, who had already been knocked down before, I stepped in and swung with all my might. There was no way for an unarmed person to guard against it. It would cause immense damage. They blocked it with their arm, their bone would snap like a twig. They turned their weight back to it, then it was possible that the blow would travel all the way to their vital organs. It looked like he was aware of this. Ow, ow. I don't like it when the music does that. Pushed farther through the kill zone between us and delivered a fist right into my gut. Not good. At this distance, in this position, and in this state, there was no way for me to dodge it. The world flipped upside down. I understood that I was being tossed around like a rag doll. I landed on the soft earth without a sound, feeling the grainy soil press against my face. Didn't hurt at all. The moment I thought that, I suddenly felt pain coming from the abrasions on my skin, as well as the contents of my stomach being forced upward, flooding my mouth with a bitter sensation. I knew very well I didn't have the time to relish this experience. I stood up as quickly as I could, but at that moment the other man was already barreling towards me. Being able to comprehend calmly that I simply couldn't dodge it made it all the more upsetting. After plowing into my stomach full force once again, my assailant twisted around behind me and locked his thick arm around my neck. My throat felt like it was being crushed by his immense strength. I couldn't even contemplate that I was being strangled, or that I was about to go unconscious. My vision simply darkened. Ow! And a silent whining noise began playing deep inside my mind. It took everything I had to keep myself from blacking out. While this was happening, the other man was more than likely standing in front of me. I was unable to open my eyes. I just realized it did go away. Oh, what's this one? True. You know, there isn't enough Sora stuff for Blue Archive. We need more Sora in the lore. We did get that mini story recently, though, to be fair. I wasn't able to open my eyes, but I could feel that he was there. There's nothing I could do now. Unable to shake this arm off me. I couldn't run. I couldn't fight back. Dire straits. I couldn't even come up with the phrase that adequately described my situation. The guy's name... Wait, what? I see. I see. Oh, was that the end of the chapter? I didn't notice. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, it was just a transition. I think this is the last chapter. It's been quite long. Going on. Familiar ceiling. Smell of the bed and pillows. I knew them well. Was this my room? Normally there wouldn't be anyone in my room besides me, but their presence made me spring wide awake. When I did that, pain shot throughout my entire body. Feeling alright? I think you better just lie down for a bit. I was running in my room. Blood began to surge through my muscles and my capillaries. But Rena's smile belonged to the Rena I knew well. I knew I shouldn't let myself feel this way, but I relaxed thinking this version of Rena was safe. Why am I? Don't you remember? After losing consciousness, nothing at all. My body had become more lethargic than I could ever have imagined. I guess that would be the expected outcome after exerting everything I had back there. I tried at least clear my head, but I couldn't shake the sluggish feeling out of my mind. I called the doctor. He should be here soon. I think you better just lie down until then. Summoning Sin. Was it Ahina? Oh man. My bad. It was me again. I wasn't injured seriously enough to merit calling a doctor, but knowing that someone impartial was coming was slightly reassuring. Why am I here? Sure, I was at the dam site. That's what I want to know. What happened? When I got there, Keiichi-kun was already passed out. That's why I'm the one who wants to know. I was attacked by two weirdos. As I talked about it, I finally remembered what happened right before I passed out. Calling that memory and the terror that went along with it caused the fogginess over my head to clear right up. Forget about those two now. I didn't expect Rena to be nursing me. I thought Rena was trying to kill me. She would have had the perfect chance while I was unconscious. Not only did she not kill me, she had nursed me back to health. Amazing you could drag me all the way back here. Wasn't I heavy? Looking at Rena's delicate frame, it was hard to believe that she had not only gotten me back home, but even dragged me all the way up to the second floor. Did she have some help? Don't you remember Keiichi-kun? Rena appeared a bit surprised, but still kept her smile. I only propped you up on my shoulder. Said you could walk on your own and that you were fine. You don't remember? I didn't remember. My memory is fuzzy after the point where I lost consciousness. What about those two? Huh? When you got there, Rena, the ones with me, or rather, those two guys. There wasn't anyone. She said it bluntly. The way she stated it felt slightly unpleasant. I was just too timid at that time. I might have been able to force some answers out of Rena. If I did that, then this kind of Rena might transform into the scary Rena who I didn't know. Hearing that, I didn't press any further. Think about it, it was the obvious choice. If both of those men were there, I don't think Rena would even have stood a chance. I couldn't find a way to explain it unless I assumed she brought me here after those two were already gone. Rena was still smiling. Her eyes sparkled warmly. Yet, I felt like I was hallucinating when I saw something. Something akin to a shadow slowly creeping across her face. Small omen sent shivers down my spine. While Rena was still Rena, I needed to make contact. I needed to contact Oishi-san. Rena stopped me when I tried to get out of bed. She said it would aggravate my wounds, so I should sleep. I'd like to go to the bathroom, though. Sorry. Rena couldn't say anything else. While Rena stayed in the room, I quickly went downstairs to get the phone receiver in the living room. When I approached the front door, the doorbell rang. Ding dong. I don't know why I read it like that. It made the sound anyway, I didn't even have to. Must have been the doctor when I had called. It was strange for a patient to welcome the doctor who was making a house call. It would be incredibly reassuring to have him here for the considerable time it would take Oishi-san to get here. I carelessly opened the door with that simple assumption and regretted it almost instantly. I had a feeling. Mion? Shit. Both of them? Oh, you look just fine. I heard you collapsed, so I came to check up on you. How'd you know I collapsed? I heard from Rena over the phone. Don't need any reason other than that. I understood why she would call a doctor. Why Mion too? Rena's descending the stairs behind me. Rena, doesn't Kei-chan look pretty alright? She made me worry for nothing. That's true. Maybe I worried for nothing as well. We both began laughing. It appeared to be cheerful laughter, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was a darkness looming over them. Oh, what's up with this shoe rack? How did it get like this? Shoe rack that I smashed to pieces had been like that since yesterday. I fell, you see, and the bed I was holding at the same time slammed into it. What happens when you sing around something you're not used to handling? Kept the fact that it was none of her business to myself. Believing it like this will really startle your parents when they get home. I'll fix it up for you later. Now come on, Kei-chan. The terminally ill need their rest. True! That's a screenshot. The terminally ill need their rest, guys. Oh, guys, don't leave. Don't leave, I didn't mean it. Come on, come. Back in bed. Both of them urged me up the stairs. I had no chance to call Oishi-san. I was pushed into my bed. Oh, lucky. As it was the first time Mion had been in my room, she began searching around intently. She's looking for that stuff. Fiddled around my room and was scolded by Rena. You can imagine how it went. It was uncomfortable having my room poked around, but the conversation was so benign that it was heartwarming. During that innocent conversation, Mion said something as though it was perfectly ordinary. Rena, did you call the director? Yep. Right after I called me Chan. He said he'll be right over. Director? That had a place where it gave me a bad feeling. Rena called the doctor. Called Mion. After that, she called the director? Who is this director? Since Rena and Mion's conversation was so peaceful, it only felt slightly odd. What are you two talking about? This director. Aha, didn't you know, Kei-chan? We mean the director when we say director. Huh? Like the director of a movie. Some fire punch ass? Hold on. Or like a foreman of a construction site. Ah, oh, they're doing the laugh. Oh, that's just Rena. But she's still doing the laugh. What? So the guy in charge? I dug through all my memories for a director who might have business with me. Only one thing came to mind. Oishi-san? What Rena had just said? Construction site foreman? The very first victim... Oh. Isn't he dead? Very first victim of the first incident. The dismemberment at the damn construction site. The foreman? That was strange. He's fucking dead. We're gonna eat. Take care. Bye-bye. He was supposed to be dead. There's no way they could call him. Don't open your eyes, please. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. What does that director have to do with me? Said he was coming. Into my house? I asked one obvious question after another. But all the two of them did was smile coolly at each other. There's a huge difference between how the two of them appeared and how my suspicions were played out. Slowly, I felt discomfort and pain welling up inside me. I couldn't understand what Rena and Mion were talking about. Hey, Chan, you've gotten into baseball lately, haven't you? Yeah. Pretty sure that the director will be happy to hear that. So who is this director? Aha, the director's the director. Aha. Who's this director? Rena and Mion looked at each other and laughed haughtily. A disturbing cackle unpleasantly resounded around me. That laugh, long enough to be unsettling, ended abruptly. Oh yeah, we should finish up before the director comes. Remember, don't you, Kei-chan? Ace was laughing, but Mion's eyes told a different story. Remember what? Keiichi-kun, had he forgotten, I wonder? About the penalty? About the penalty? Did you really forget? The homework with the mochi? The homework where you're supposed to guess which one Rena made? Forgot about that homework, didn't you? I certainly did have that homework. But I had thrown away the rest of the mochi after I found the sewing needle. I wasn't able to answer which one Rena made. A penalty for that? And now. No doubt my question was written all over my face. Her answer to my question was that dry laughter. I could no longer make heads or tails of anything. I began to think that this entire day was somehow insane. Yeah, I kinda agree. Strange. Comprehensible. Being chased by Rena. Backed by strange man. Penalty Mion and Rena were talking about. Yeah ha 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 ha. Ni ha 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 ha. What were these two laughing at? It didn't take that long for me to realize I had been dragged into an abnormal situation. Who were these two? Who were these people? Who are these doppelgangers of Rena and Mion? Oh, there are the eyes. Okay, it's over. Guys, we gotta beat the shit out of him with the bat. It's how it is, you know. It's what we gotta do. Rena had gotten behind me at some point. Lucky. Oh, is she pinning my arms behind my back? Extra lucky. What are you doing? Don't move. This is your penalty. Mion gets to suck your cock. Oh no. Is this the end? I think so. My body was already very sluggish, and Rena pinning my arms made it that much harder to move. I seriously tried to struggle, but she wouldn't even budge. My panic began to well up, and I realized this was well beyond the realm of jokes and pleasantries. Freakishly monstrous strength. It would have been impossible for the Rena that I knew. Then, these thin, frail arms grasping me firmly. What arms were they? Ch.1, no struggling. Oh, never. Club rule number 1. It doesn't matter which one. You can't fight against the penalty. No. That thing that looked like Mion spoke to me like how Mion would speak to me. But I was certain that this was not Mion. Someone who wasn't Mion. Someone who just pretended to be Mion. Hehehe. I need to finish this up before the director comes. Mion fished into her pockets and pulled out something bizarre. I could tell what it was just by looking, but for such a thing to be in her pocket, my mind wouldn't accept it. Ow. What is that? It was small syringe. Fentanyl! Is that how they do fentanyl? Or is fentanyl pill? This syringe fentanyl? Either way, it could be heroin. It was a small, clear syringe, the kind a doctor might use if you went to them with a high fever. What the fuck? They syringe you with a high fever? They just give you, like, physical meds. Like, or not physical, but like a pill. And that held me even tighter. And I could hear that clattering laughter that no longer sounded like laughter blaring into my ear. That eerie laughter is a pill. Fentanyl's a pill. That's what I thought. Not that I've ever had it or anything. They stopped bringing those guys over, you know? It wasn't something that the Rena I knew could ever produce from her own throat. This thing that was pretending to be Rena, was this the real laugh? Unable to defend myself, the syringe Mion was holding drew closer. And that needle tip was waved in front of my face countless times. Don't worry, don't worry. It won't hurt, it won't hurt. What are you planning on doing? What kind of sick joke is this? What are you saying, Ch.1? Ow. You know exactly what's going on, don't you? No. Oh, what? I don't understand any of this at all. I know you. No, I know you know. No, he's playing the fool this late in the game. Stop talking nonsense and try to confuse me. You're going to have done to you what happened to Tomitaki-san. Oh, I understand now. Wait. So wait, he was drugged, but they couldn't find it in his system. Oh. Hey, don't do this to me. I don't want to be drugged. No, don't give me drugs. No. What? Same as Tomitaki-san? I didn't really understand what she meant. What did that have to do with the syringe? You're playing dumb, Keiichi-kun. Should have realized it by now. And I whispered into my ear, laughing as if to admonish me. But even the way she spoke was repulsive beyond compare. Playing dumb? Me? About what? What do you mean? His name is Tomitake-san? Everyone thought at first that it was a hit and run. Except when the officer got closer to check if she was still alive, he soon noticed it wasn't a normal situation. His throat was scratched out. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? Nails as in fingernails? With those gouged through? That's right. Tomitake-san had clawed out his own throat with his own nails and died. There's no way someone could die like that. So then, for that to happen, we thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. Yeah, bullshit. Well, I guess there is a drug that can go through stuff like that, right? That's right. Police didn't find any drugs on Tomitake-san's system. But there are the drugs that can, body can be like, Lamau, what's that? The police told me they didn't find any drugs in Tomitake-san's body. Two of them laughed together with that sickening laughter. That was pretty sickening, to be fair. Of course they'd laugh. To assume that such a medicine didn't exist just because the police didn't know about it was completely foolish. Meaning the drug that caused Tomitake-san to die in such a bizarre manner, that JoJo reference, did exist. Mion injected this into me, and that would probably be all the proof I needed. That would basically mean I'd end up the same as Tomitake-san. Become hysterical, scratch at my throat in my last moments, then die. For such an outrageous drug to exist, for Mion to be holding it, and that I was about to be injected with it. At that moment, I did not feel there was any need whatsoever to question it. What kind of idiot, when he's trying to dodge a ball flying straight for his face, has the time to think of a reason of why it's flying at him? Kind of true, though. Just give up. Alright, then? His actions lacked any gravitas, and that made it even more terrifying. There was nothing of the ceremony like when someone was sentenced to death. There was no hesitation at all, as if she were brushing her teeth. Ryun reached out with one hand and grabbed onto my chest. That like electricity had run through the back of my head, and the entire world had gone dark. Did I stand up too fast? Or did someone hit me really hard in the back of the head? Having lost my sense of balance, I was assaulted by a wave of dizziness. Damn. Okay. Squatted down for a bit. When I came to my senses, my entire room had changed drastically. Numbness in my head was gone, and slowly I could tell blood was flowing through my extremities again. How long had I been squatting here? 20 minutes. Or has it been hours? It's almost as if the hands of the clock had stopped moving the entire time my eyes were closed. That's how little time passed. Really? There in the room wasn't filled with that madness from before, only a dull silence. Rena wasn't there pinning my arms, and Mion wasn't there about to inject me with a needle. No way. Could it be? All of it? Hallucination? I feel like a lot of this is. I have a feeling that he's just fucking crazy. But due to the curse, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have 90% of the puzzle, and that 10% is never gonna come. There was no other presence in the room besides my own. It was the weirdest experience I'd ever had. I was certainly with Rena and Mion. Out of my sanity for a moment, but I was also seized with some sort of comfort. I guess that terrible ordeal was a hallucination. I'm just hallucinating, guys. Not that bad. Neither Rena nor Mion. They wouldn't ever do that. Something so terrible. My head grew hot. I could tell my emotions were welling up. Why? That wasn't a reason to cry. Why? It was sorrow? Or was I sad? I don't understand. kind to everyone, not discriminating against age or gender. Yawn. That Mion was sprawled by the window in an unnatural pose. Oh! Blood stained her a deep red from her head down to her chest. Bright crimson smeared on the walls. The splatter had undoubtedly come from Mion. Oh! She always had that bright smile and was kind to me from the day I transferred. Rena. The same Rena was slumped at my feet and was making the same pool of blood as Mion. I couldn't comprehend what had happened. Did someone come to save me? Then they beat these two down with this metal bat. Finally noticed the weight in my right hand. How long had it been there? It was Satoshi's metal bat. Yeah, we were dying, but we just killed them instead. It was covered in a deep red. There was no doubt that this was the weapon used to mutilate both of them. I was holding that weapon. I was the only person in the house. What? Looking at this objectively, I couldn't think of anyone other than myself who could have done it. I did this? Right. Eiichi Maebara. Of course I did it. I told myself gently, as if coaxing myself. Hey, me. No reason for you to remember it, nor is there a reason to regret it. Eat or be eaten. Get that, don't you? But the blood. Blood, there's so much. Neither Rena nor Mion had moved an inch. Yep, damn, they died, yep. It wasn't just a split forehead or a trickle of blood, nothing that simple. The entire room was splattered with red, and that told me it didn't end with just 2 or 3 strikes. Are they dead? Both of them? The depths of my mind were calm, but on the surface I was panicking and agitated. Usually the other way around. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. What happened to your usual calm self? Come on now. You'll do like you always do. Throw your head back and take a deep breath. Come now. Once. Twice. Breathe deeply. Calm down. Calm down. Chanted that over and over in my head and relaxed. Good, bro. Color came back to my vision and smells reinfused the air. At the same time, I remember what happened when I blacked out. Oh. Rena Mion had attacked me. You showered late today? I didn't know you showered. They were able to inject me with whatever caused the same symptoms as Tomitaki-san. Well, right before that happened, I fought back. I twisted my whole body and threw Rena as she was pinning my arms. Then I followed through with my spin and ran my foot as hard as I could into Mion's torso. It was soft. Damn, you had to comment on that. I understand. Rena tried jumping on me, so I tackled her as hard as I could and slammed her against the wall. I didn't let that brief moment of having them off balance slip by. Satoshi's bat that was left carelessly by the side of my desk. Weep. That moment, everything went pitch black. There's nothing recorded past this point in the videotape of my mind. No, that wasn't right. It wasn't that there was nothing recorded. It was recorded just fine. Just the other me inside myself had told me not to look and had it turned off. I turned off the TV. Just because the screen had gone black and I couldn't see it, didn't mean that the videotape within me hadn't recorded it. TV was just off. The video was just still playing. Tape within me, freaking along, still playing. On the other hand of that pitch black screen, that horrifying video was still playing on. Compared to this though, the scene right before my eyes, was still so difficult to take in. Blood splattered everywhere on the walls, the 2 of them in these unnatural poses. Not a sign of movement from them. Couldn't even tell if they were breathing. No matter what the circumstances were, my friends, these girls, had attacked them. I might have even killed them. But if I hadn't done this, I would have been the one done for. Balancing that out on an imaginary scale, it felt odd that I'd even feel bad about it. Even if it was a bit excessive, this was justifiable self-defense. Castle doctrine. They're even in his home. He's the right to fight back against home invaders. Proof was all here. Two of them collapsed here in Mion's syringe. Mion's syringe filled with some unknown drug would certainly solve the mystery surrounding the incident with Tomitaki-san. The fact that both of these two were involved, they'd be able to pick out the criminals one after the other. Still, I might be suspected for this. But that was just fine. Anyway, now this should be a police affair. This wouldn't fade into the darkness like Rena's past incidents. As long as the police were involved, that should bring this to a close. They'll probably revisit their investigation on the chain of incidents. Oishi-san would definitely get to the bottom of it. Meaning my wish, not wanting to die, wanting to know the truth, that would be fulfilled in its most basic form. It was all a matter of time now. Dr. Renacall should be getting here soon. I'll confess everything to him. I need to contact Oishi-san. That moment I remembered. Besides the doctor, a director had been called. It was easy to imagine there was someone deeply involved with the incidents, judging from Rena and Mion's conversation. Ache in my chest caused by the gruesome deed I'd done dissipated rapidly. It was not over yet. This place was no longer safe. They call him Keiichi Maebara. Not over yet. I need to live long enough to tell the police of this incident. That moment, felt like I heard someone's voice from outside. People were speaking, it must mean there were more than one person. The director and him? Well, who's the director? I moved the curtain ever so slightly and peered outside. It was a bizarre sight. About 4 or 5 grown men were all gathered at the gate. They were very much resembling the 2 men who had assaulted me at the dam site today. Oh, is this another hallucination? You might even be among them. Amogus? There was one person there wearing a white coat, but he didn't look like a doctor at all. The guy told me he was in disguise, only posing as a doctor. The guy would probably ring the bell and get me to open the front door. Pretend to be a doctor to get me to open the door, and then the rest of them would all rush in at once. That moment, I saw the car parked behind the men, and my heart nearly skipped a beat. The white van! You are a kid. They do that. Oh wait, no wait, it's actually referring to the van that ran into him earlier. Oh, I forgot about that. That was like a while ago. I forgot that he got run over by a van. I'm mistaken. The van. The one that tried to run me down. Men in the white coat entered the gate and headed towards the front door. The rest of the men hid in the bushes and watched him. I probably couldn't pretend that I wasn't home. Undoubtedly, they'd just break the window and enter. I need to get out of here somehow. Then, use a public phone to contact Oishi-san. Gonna meet up somewhere. First of all, I need a weapon. Then shoes. But before all that, there was one thing I had to do. I had no intention of dying. I'd live and reveal the truth about this nonsensical curse of Oyashiro-sama. But what happened from here on, regardless of how determined I was, may bring about my demise. That was why. There's one thing more important than getting out of here right now. The note? I need to get the clock out quickly and take down the note hidden behind it. Damn it. Tape was sticking to it fast. Be fine if it was torn a little. I opened up the slightly torn note and began writing another passage with a ballpoint pen. If I wasn't able to inform Oishi-san, then the only thing I could rely on was this note. I never thought a piece of torn college-ruled notebook paper would be this reliable before. I had no time. I'd only write what I knew right now. I needed to leave some sort of information that would lead them to uncover the truth. Rena and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. This was an undeniable fact. I still didn't want to believe it, but it was a fact. Anyway, I'd leave all the information that would help lead them to finding the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This was everything I was able to see from the window. There may be more. Also, there was that unidentified person known as the director. To begin with, the term director didn't even mesh with Hinamizawa at all. If they were going to include the directors from the past incidents, then the only one that is the construction site foreman, the victim from the first murder. First victim in the chain of incidents. Killed in a lynching, his body divided into 6 pieces. His right arm was never discovered. The police should have confirmed that death, but Rena and Mion did both call him director. They said director. They wouldn't use that term to refer to someone who was dead. The police would never even conceive that someone who is deceased could be involved. Could that be some sort of oversight? I don't know. But even if I didn't know, it could be a big hint for Oishi-san. That's right. They needed to start fresh from the first incident. It wasn't just a simple dismemberment, but the start of this string of mysterious deaths that would follow. So, then there must be something hidden there. Please reinvestigate the victim from the dismemberment incident. He's alive. His death should have been established after an autopsy. Logically, you would think as much. But was that really the case? Could it have been some sort of ploy that they were able to deceive the police with? I shouldn't jump to conclusions, but he may still be alive. I had no time to ponder that right now. Oh yeah. There's something even more important I need to write. Hamatake-san's death was from an unknown drug. That's right. That drug. It was an irreplaceable piece of evidence. No doubt, just by having this, everything would be discovered. I couldn't just leave that vital clue lying on the floor. Syringe is proof. Writing that down, I stuck the syringe onto the back of the clock with plenty of tape, so it absolutely would not slip out and fall to the floor firmly. Firmly! The bell rang. They were here. I couldn't write anymore, but even still, there's one last thing I had to write. Vic General? Sure, don't you see the situation we're in? I have no idea why it has become like this. It's maybe the closest thing to the truth out of everything I wrote on this note. If you're reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though you may or may not find my body. I was gonna write out everything that could happen, either dying from the curse, or being demoned away. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. With this, my last will and testament was complete. It wasn't certain I was gonna die, but it was my final plea, just in case. I felt the note, stick it back into the onto the back of the clock, and return the clock back to its usual spot. I couldn't help but pray. Oishi-san, something happens to me, I leave the rest to you. After that, I gazed down silently at Rena and Mion. Probably the last time we'd ever see each other. Yeah, probably not a great way to go. Rena, Mion, missing out. I really had thought all of us were friends. Why did it end up like this? I never had any fun in my previous school. I only worried about standardized test scores, about if the school I had hoped to get into was where I really wanted to go, or a safety net. That was all I talked about. It was a dull life. People I called friends were also my rivals in studying, in competitions, in personal records, and standardized test scores. Everyone here taught me how unhealthy that lifestyle was. This month was really fun. Making a fuss over lunch, making a fuss over the club, making a fuss over the festival. Something hot began dripping from my face. Uncontrollable tears. I should have no obligation to shed tears for them. They wouldn't stop. Even if they were after my life. Even if they were trying to kill me. Everything that happened this month, I wouldn't forget it. Or could it be those happy days were all a facade as well? Was it all a trap meticulously orchestrated up until today to ensnare me? Could it have been that I had just arbitrarily assumed that they were my friends? That couldn't have been the case. Both Ren and Mion, they really were my friends. Those happy days, there were nothing fake or unclear about them. There was nothing fake or unclear about them. Someone probably forced them to try to kill me. Or their minds were taken over, possessed by the supernatural entity known as Oyashiro-sama. Regardless, both Rena and Mion, they were the best friends ever. And when they were coming after me, it wasn't of their own volition. But they weren't the kind of people to sell off their friends, no matter what means that were employed to force them. And there was no way such a thing as being possessed by Oyashiro-sama could happen in reality. Then the real Rena and Mion come after me? What was I thinking? A silly dumb idea. Having beaten down both Rena and Mion, I was still debating if they were the real ones or fakes. There's no real or fake. The only reality was before me. Rena and Mion were sprawled out at my feet. That was the only truth. I was only trying to twist the facts to benefit that I had beaten my friends to death. No matter how I spun it, it wouldn't change reality. Rena and Mion were both dead. Felt like there was a crack in the dam of strange emotions I was holding back. Felt like my calm state, which was nothing more than a bluff, had receded, and in that opening, insanity was leaking out. I killed them. I killed them. Rena and Mion. I killed them. Okay, I'll look at it real quick. I feel like this beat's going on for a while. I'll look at. Oh, damn! I am spotted. Yeah, plug the stream, man, plug the stream. That is funny because Tomo's the one I couldn't beat. He was using a different homework. I would have had to do. Actually, was that the problem? What was the reason I couldn't? He has quite a higher score. Wait, did he use a UE? Did he use a UE 50 Shanako? Oh no, that's someone else saying that. Never mind. Okay. Doorbell rang again. The unrelenting echo pulled me back into a state of composure once again. I didn't have a moment to spare. Quickly, I needed to get away. I didn't want to die. I would uncover everything after that. He lost to Protomo, and he used UE40 as Mika. Okay, to be fair, part 1, you could do that. I firmly believe that. You don't do much damage with Mika. It's all Wakamo damage. Did they have a UE60 Wakamo? Is that the answer? That would be the answer. That would easily make up for that damage. Well, not easily, but it could. It could. The Bond 50 Wakamo would be like that'd be a bigger deal, but you know what I mean. But yeah, borrow Mika on part 2. Would I assume then? The identity of whoever and or whatever had pushed me this far. Even if I had to drink mud and eat grass, I would survive. I would survive. I would definitely survive. I killed Brenda for that very reason. I also killed Mion. Went that far just to keep living. So I can't die. For my sake and for the sake of the late Rena and Mion. I have to survive. I ran towards the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang again as if to urge me on. Beyond the single solitary door, they were there. Keeping quiet, I headed towards the kitchen. I headed towards the back door. Before opening the back door, I put my ear to it and checked for people outside. No one. After I put on my shoes, I opened the door slowly so as to not make a sound. There he is, the back door! A piercing voice echoed out. That voice stabbed through me, setting my hair on end. I had to run. Get out of there, Keiichi. One after another, I felt stuff like rationale and intelligence. Those things you use when you have time to spare spill out of me. I didn't feel any pain from the brain just scratching my arms and forehead. My autonomously pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. Probably had no complaints whatsoever. So, of course, I wouldn't feel fatigue. I just ran, recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be running like this. There wasn't a thought in my head about where I was headed. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was without a doubt chasing me like my shadow. If I took even one misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. If I didn't turn around, I didn't stop. I ran. Full speed. That was the chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening. That's not exactly the sound they make. To be fair, I don't think I could emulate that sound. Trying to tell me something. And then if I finally heard it, the wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? I don't know how to make this sound. Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew. So I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi's chirps. The farther I ran, the farther away their chirping became. I couldn't get near them. Why are you all running away? Is it my fault? Am I the one to blame? And I'll apologize. I'm sorry. 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 I felt that only the Higurashi knew. It'd be funny if that was the end of the chapter. Okay. It wasn't the end of the chapter, but I got an achievement in Lamau. Smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electronic noise, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. Why do smokers have to be shoved so far down this corridor where the sun didn't even reach? I recalled hearing that the tax revenue from tobacco is about a tenth of the municipality's revenue. That's kind of crazy. We're the most heavily taxed members of this municipality. I can't read. I really wish they'd show us a little more respect. Kuma guy. That. Why would you discard the 5 manzu there? What? It's just decreasing your options. Oh, they're playing, Mahjong? One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with the Mahjong magazine called Next Turn. Oh. Still in Tenpai if you cut, the 5 manzu. Why are you struggling with, municipality? I don't know. I've been talking for, like, almost 3 hours. My voice is kind of dead. If you're betting on the Haite, then shouldn't you be going into it with a mangan? Come on, son, look at the pond. They all discarded a 5 manzu. It's safe. It's a safe tile. You'll hate if at endgame someone was sitting on a tenpai on the last turn, wouldn't you? He had let out another groan, putting out his cigarette, and then took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options? By the way, you can't call it Ron with your winning tile in that Haite. What? Why is that? Just then I heard a voice coming from down the hall. Are you here, Oishi-san? I have a call from a civilian. Oh, ain't that something. Well, see you soon. Why can't you call it a Ron? Why can't you call Ron on it? Hold on for a second, Oishi-san. The man sitting at the seat was Oishi-san. Oishi-san was heading towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line. From a payphone. Holy shit, that's you? Wait, what's you? I saw that one earlier. Damn, that's you. True. Oh, why, thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Oishi. Oishi. Who is it? Ah, Oishi-san. Hello. If it isn't Mayabata-san. Why, good evening. From the tone of Mayabata-kun's voice, I already knew he was in a predicament. This was the first time Mayabata-kun had phoned me. And he was calling from a payphone. Please calm down. Did something happen? His voice was erratic over the line. He had completely lost his sense of composure. After checking that nobody else could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone. Happened. Calm down, Mayabata-san. I can have the local officers head to your location. I'll be there soon too. I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by people even as he was making this call, was he? Mayabata-san, you're calling from a payphone right now? Where is that payphone? No other sounds besides Mayabata-kun's voice. It had to be a payphone booth. I scratched out a note and thrust it at my colleague sitting across from me. Inamizawa, phone booth. He understood quickly and hastily started on internal lines. Calm down, Mayabata-san. What is your current situation? It was best practice to avoid flustering someone panicking, but this was an urgent case. Mayabata-kun didn't just get in trouble, get away, and then call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now. But yelling at Mayabata-kun right now would just needlessly cause him to be even more frantic. Mayabata-kun wasn't just calling to seek help. He was trying to tell us something more than that. Whatever that was. If I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance. My colleague pushed the note in front of me. There's only one booth in Hinamizawa. A patrol car is on its way. 5 minutes. Too long. How many officers are in there? 2. Not enough. If it was as I imagined, there were likely quite a few people surrounding Mayabata-kun. 5 minutes was too long. Did you call the officer station in Hinamizawa? He's scheduled to be on patrol. They're currently out, and it'll be impossible to contact them. Damn. Komitsan, bring the car around. Understood. Hello? Oishi-san? Hello? It's alright. I can hear you loud and clear. Something wrong with Mayabata-kun. It wasn't a normal coughing sound. Vomiting? Was it blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured? Mayabata-san, the police are on their way. They'll be here in a couple of minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? Mayabata-san? I could hear on the other end of the line that he was having a coughing fit. The worst possible situation popped into my head. Mayabata-san, who's the culprit? How many are there? I thought at first the culprit was human. I couldn't tell if it was a cough or vomiting. Are you alright, Mayabata-san? I thought that culprit was a person and not Oyashiro-sama's curse. Up until right now. But I guess in the end, it was an intense bout of coughing and vomiting. But I guess Oyashiro-sama does exist. No, he's here. Mayabata-san, please just please calm down. I've been thinking it was strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and I run and I run and run. But it just sticks to me like my shadow. But slowly, slowly, it's digging itself into my back. Mayabata-san? Are they? Right now. Perhaps right behind you? Behind me? Right behind me? Please, Mayabata-san. I can tell you're scared, but please. Who is it? That's right behind you. I can't just look behind me. If I do, I'll... I understand that you're scared. Please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who's behind you, Mayabata-san? But after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. What followed was a nightmarish sound. Mayabata-san? Could it be that you're clawing out your own throat? There was no answer. But I could hear something like scratching. There was a bang as if something was being hit. Mayabata-kun had probably dropped the receiver. I could hear groaning and vomiting over on the other end and a repeating abnormal voice. Hello? Hello? Mayabata-san? Hello? I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end, but I couldn't help but shout. At that moment, I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. From the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to someone there? Hello? Mayabata-san? Rather than whispering, there was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. Focused my senses, trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Beep. Suddenly the line went dead. Did he use up his time? Because it was a payphone. Because it cut out so abruptly. Last thing he said came out so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san, the car is good to go. Oishi-san, it was... Sorry. Oishi-san? That's what he repeated over and over. He said, I'm sorry. I had a gut feeling. There was no longer a need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of the Higurashi spilling in from the open window. Quick, 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 quick. I can't make those sounds. And like how it was a different sound too. I should have been able to hear them this entire time. I just wasn't paying any attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Were they trying to tell me something? Only Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. June 1983. In Hinamizawa, a remote village near Shishibone City, there was a murder involving 2 female students. The suspect is Keiichi Matabata, age... I think he's supposed to be 15, but I don't know. I don't know. Don't remember. The suspect called over his 2 female classmates, Renoryugu Mion Sonozaki, to his house, and he beat them to death with a metal bat. I know what he means. Damn, we did, yeah. How are you below Tomo and below Shirokuro and Yasod? Wait, was I below him as well in that one? Like right below him? Wait, did you post that? Oh, I see. Oops. Hold on. I was fucking scrolling on... Dude, I hate it. I have to click off screen in order to scroll, in order for it to do that, or else the game thinks I'm scrolling. I can reread it. And maybe I scrolled up. That is actually very fucking funny. How close was that one? So I got a better purple. Okay, he got a better red. He got the blue. He got the blue. I didn't. He probably has. I guarantee he has a UE60 Wakamo, and that's why. It's probably the difference. That's how it would make sense. All right. All right. The scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the 2nd floor of his house. Inside of the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood, and there were signs of a struggle with the victims. In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. At the entryway, the shoe rack and wall had evidence of being impacted by a strong blunt force. It is believed to have been the same bat as the murder weapon. Having no traces of blood, it is believed the destruction occurred before the murders. Oh, I gotta dig deeper into this rabbit hole. That'd be really funny if it was a 3rd time as well. There's the possibility that the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back, then thrown aside. It is hard to believe that this had a connection to the struggle with the victims, and thus the reason for this remains unknown. In the kitchen, the garbage bag was torn apart. Its contents were spread out on the floor. Garbage was strewn about in the surrounding area, and handprints believed to belong to the suspect were discovered. It is believed that the suspect had, for some reason, taken out the garbage and struck it with his fists. The reason for this remains unknown. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge. The words, "Was there a needle?" were written on it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case, the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered. The garage door was functional. It had been left open ever since the suspect moved in. The garage door was found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown. The suspect fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinamizawa Local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of discovery, the suspect was unconscious in critical condition. He was rushed to the local hospital for treatment, but did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. The result of the autopsy indicated the immediate cause of death to have been hypovolemic shock. Is that from adrenaline? Or no, that's from allergies, right? There's a lot of medical terms I've been learning from this game. I've heard of this before, but what's the actual thing? Blood loss, okay. Wait, oh. Are they going to mention he clawed out his throat after then? Hypovolemic, that makes sense. Hypo, I'm gonna chubby emu you guys real quick. Hypo meaning lack of, and volemic meaning volume. So, lack of volume in the blood, I assume. It was determined that the suspect had clawed out his own throat with his fingernails. That checks out then. Okay. That would definitely make you lose blood, and the resulting bleeding caused his death. With the similarity to the death being similarity of the death of Tomitake-san the prior week, the police believe there to be a connection and have opened an investigation. Wow, Dr. Potato, I know. However, due to the wishes of the local authorities, it will be a confidential investigation. Down. Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was suspected that drugs were involved, but as with Tomitake-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, this case is being treated as an act committed on impulse. However, with several accounts of the suspect's bizarre behavior leading up to the incident, it is possible that this was premeditated. Separated from his group of friends, isolation, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was observed displaying aggressive behaviors, as well as talking to himself at school. His classmates have actually heard portions of what he was saying. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to these circumstances, the police have begun an investigation on the possibility that this crime was not committed on impulse, but was instead planned several days in advance. Oh, they found the note afterwards. The note was found in the suspect's room that he had written himself. The note was written on 2 sheets from a B5 college rule notebook that had each been torn in half. And as if trying to conceal it, it was stuck behind the clock on the wall. A clock on the wall. Contents were as written in the appendix. The police believe it to be strongly related to the incident. Well, yeah. The police changed their line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive or premeditated? With the situation unclear and no further developments, this case has been labeled as unresolved. Damn. It really just go, damn, we don't fucking know. Damn, that sucks. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The note was not written on 2 halves of B5 paper from 2 separate sheets, but was originally a single sheet of B5 paper. In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out. What did they tore out? Where did the syringe go? The syringe! That's what was missing! Judging from the size of the letters, the missing section is estimated to be 2 to 3 lines. It is highly probable that the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging from traces of large quantities of cellophane tape being stuck to the back of the clock, speculation that something other than the note was stuck there has arisen. The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have a connection with the incident, Kurado Oishi. He underwent voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damages to the note. Suspect's note. I, Kiichi Maebara, am in fear for my life. I do not know why they are after my life. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Rina and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. The section below this has been ripped out. What was after? It's from the second sheet. The section above has been ripped out. I have no idea why it has become like this. You're reading this and I'm probably dead. Though you may or may not find my body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. It is my only desire. Eiichi Maebara. What was cut out? I don't remember the dialogue. What was missing? Do I have to go back? Oh, damn. That's just bass boosted as hell. Oh, it's an all-cast review session. There's more content? No! Damn, that's still another achievement to do. Wait, hold on, what? Oh, reading all the tips was the rarest achievement. I was wondering why I had a rarer achievement than the very end of the game. Okay, some people skip the tips. Is it an extra or something? That's review session? About the drugs. You're right! The drugs! Oh. Thank you for buying Higurashi no Naku Koro ni Onikakushi, a visual novel by 7th expansion. How was it? I liked it. I remembered a lot from the anime, I will say, even though it's been a decade since I watched it, I remember quite a bit. But I think that's most of what I remember. Obviously, the only things I remember from the anime is, you know, the knife scene and the fingernail scene, but those will be in future games, I believe. So unless playing the next ones will jog my memory, they should be a way more new experiences. If you enjoyed it even a little bit, it would make me happy. You know, I like that. Oh, hi, Satoko. Even a little bit is stretching it. No. That incredibly dark ending made me angry, you know? Yeah. Made us angry. I can't imagine you ever being angry. We get Nippon! As I understand it, this Onikakushi chapter is supposed to be somewhat of a prologue to the entire series. Yes. How could the prologue have such an incredibly dark ending? Yeah, but doesn't that happen sometimes? Yeah, actually. Have you ever read the first chapter of Kingdom? That's a dark ending. Player digging through the story in order to avoid a bad ending is the point of these types of games after all. I didn't really have any decisions to make though. It's still just the first chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. What happens in the next chapter? Brenda, do you know? Yeah, they said the next chapter will introduce another aspect of the story. That's a strange way of putting it. What does that mean? In this chapter, they introduced the string of mysterious deaths that were happening in Hinamizawa recently, right? Next chapter will introduce some of the history of Hinamizawa. Okay. With one strange event happening after another, I got totally lost. What exactly is Oyashiro-sama's curse about? Actually, who is Oyashiro-sama to begin with? They didn't explain it much. Dude, I love this end commentary. This is just my thoughts. It's like I'm communicating with them. I haven't heard much about it. Damn. I have kind of a bad feeling about it. Feels like it'll be another one of those scary stories where somebody gets cursed again. Tough luck for Kei-chan. He's dead. What kind of curse is he gonna get hit with this time? However, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of story it's gonna be. Ooh. Sorry for being late. My bad, my bad. Oh, you're alive. Wait, what? Hey, everybody. Good work today. Same to you. Oh, where's Kei-chan? Keiichi-kun is already off reading the script for the next chapter. Oh, no. Must be hard being the main character. True. Huh? That's too bad. Could have at least poked in to say hello. Probably because he doesn't have any character art, so he couldn't poke his head in even if he wanted to. Oh. Mika-san, that's what we refer to as a personal problem. God damn. Oh. That, okay. Damn, you didn't have to roast him that bad. That was uncalled for, man. Holy shit. In any case, this story really was a lot of trouble, especially for Keiichi-kun and Renaton. And you kind of died. Trouble? That was the mother of all bad ends. Wonder, what was the identity of the thing that attacked Keiichi-kun? My theory is that it was a work of people made to look like a curse. But Keiichi made that mysterious phone call at his demise. Yeah. I also thought that call was strange. At that point, Kei-chan should have been certain that the culprits were people. That really was a strange phone call. It almost sounded like he was being chased by a ghost or something. Just from that phone call, it really makes me think that it was the work of a curse after all. Since we're all here, why don't we share all our theories? Okay. Let's start with Sonozaki-san. I absolutely believe it was people. I think it was a man-made incident that was just imitating the strange folklore floating around Hinamizawa. Certainly. Every year on the day of the festival for another link in the chain of mysterious deaths to happen certainly is suspicious. A so-called chain of mysterious deaths has to be somebody trying to reenact the folklore, definitely. I think it was the curse. Looking at the scene where Keiichi-san went berserk in the entryway and the last scene with the phone call, those cannot be explained with a human culprit. When you say it that way, it really wasn't the type of scene that would make you think it was the work of an actual person. Yeah, but even then, I still think it was a person who did it. Last scene and the one with the entryway, I think that the stress must have driven him into a paranoid delusions. You aren't helping me to understand by using such complicated words. Damn. Skill issue. In other words, Keiichi-kun was so scared that he was imagining things. Does that happen? Then, what What was the meaning behind that scene? What exactly was that mysterious presence behind Keiichi? I can't read. A red herring? Red herring? Michan, what do you mean by red herring? Like old man Tomitake here said, that scene was the result of Kei-chan having a stress-induced delusion from being mentally cornered. The overly graphic depiction was a ploy to make the player think it was a curse. That's why it was a red herring. Well, when you say it like that, but, well, it just means that there's that possibility. In that case, the theory that Oishi-san proposed during the story, that it was a conspiracy by the villagers, was correct. What does the man himself have to say about that? Me? Makes you think, eh? Damn. Huh? I totally thought the Oishi-san would be in behind the people explanation. During the story, I said it was definitely the work of people, but if a person was really to blame, that leaves a lot of loose ends. Like what? Let us hear what Detective Oishi-san's theory is. First of all, if a human is the culprit, then there has to be a motive. In other words, somebody has to gain something from it. So what do you mean is, if this was the work of people, there would have to be something to gain from causing the chain of mysterious deaths? Exactly. I felt that somebody could have benefited from the deaths of people related to the dam and development, but the recent victims weren't related to that at all. First off, who benefits from killing Mayabata-san? I see. If you say it like that, my case is kind of weak too. I mean, none of your money was stolen. There's no way it was human culprits. True. But that's not everything there is to it, right? Like Michan said, there might have been some sort of reason for them to reenact the folklore. It does not happen 3 times. What? Oh, you looked at the previous one? Lamau. Exactly. This wasn't a murder where you consider the typical motives. Makes me think that this was most likely some sort of ritualistic murder to reenact the blood-stained history of the village. So I'll ask the question of the hour. Who gains from this reenactment? Not about simple benefits, more psychological reasons. I think that maybe this was an act of revenge. Something native to the region? What? Connection not touched on this time around? Okay. I see. Member of some repressed family looking to air out an old grudge of their ancestors, something like that. Give up after searching the Peru thread? I don't like that. And what is it? It couldn't be that you're leaning towards the curse explanation, Oishi-san. That's right, that's right. The man playing the detective said so. It was decided, it was a curse. If, as Mayabata-san said during the story, it was the case that Oyashiro-sama possessed Ryugu-san and Sonozaki-san and committed those acts, that would fit the evidence the most. As much as I hate to say it. Actually, I'm in the same opinion as Oishi-san. Can't come up with any other explanation for the normally kind Rena and Michan to suddenly start acting strange like that. About that, it may sound strange coming from the person herself, but I think that Mion did it. I did it, guys! I don't get what me is saying. I'd like an explanation. Oh, sorry. In other words, I think this may end up being a really cruel story. Huh? Wait, Michan? You don't mean... Taking the human culprit theory to its logical conclusion, that's how it would seem. I also have my suspicions. In other words, Ryugu-san and Sonozaki-san both actually had those personalities to begin with and were merely deceiving Mayabata-san. Am I right? I don't like that at all. This is all that curse's fault. Rene-san and Mion-san and everybody else are all kind, nice people. I think that too. I think that Rene and Mion-chan are really good people at heart. I think that during the story, they must have been possessed by something. So Rena also thinks it was a curse. Then let me ask everybody who thinks it was a curse. There has to be a reason for a curse, right? Doesn't make sense for a curse to just indiscriminately befall someone. Can somebody explain that? Oops. A curse is a curse. Oh, okay. Human logic wouldn't get us anywhere. Kinda true. Aha, Satoko-chan. A personified deity is in the end nothing more than a creation of people. That's why their method of thinking is also understandable to humans. I can see that. Take a look at the Greek pantheon. They cry, get angry, get jealous. Basically, they're just like human. What if it's not a personified deity? What if they personify it after they find it? To be fair, I think all deities are personified, so that it checks out. So what you're saying is that Oyashiro-sama is cursing people with some benefit in mind. Arisu cosplay? That's actually really good. That's an odd way of putting it, but basically, yes. That's why they say, far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. I don't know what that is. Aha, you do have a point. Basically, it doesn't matter if it's Oyashiro-sama or humans. There has to be a reason. Well, yeah, or else it's just a bad story. But Rika, what if that reason isn't clear? It isn't yet. I don't know. That's right. That's still this is still just a prologue. There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been revealed yet. Yeah. It's hard to come up with any more theories at this point. No. I won't be satisfied until it's all made clear. Neon-san seems rather particular about this. It's all if you don't increase gas prices further. We'll just make it the best with what we know. Doesn't this feel interesting? Like the club a little bit? Ah, yeah. Put it that way, it does seem interesting. Oh, more? Well then, let's summarize, okay? Let's see, I think it was a curse. Kamitake-kun thinks it was people, right? Yeah. I'll go with it being people. I also agree with the people explanation. That's not to say I hate such fantastic things like curses, but in this particular case, the connection to a curse is a little weak. Do for the people explanation then. Ryuga-san was on the curse side of things, right? Yep. Satoko-chan and I believe it was a curse. Right. Yeah. I think it was a curse. People who say that Ren-san and Mion-san were evil to begin with are more befitting of a curse. Well, I don't want to believe that my own personality was that twisted. Oh man, what do you have posted here? Very nice. But I have to keep a cool head when I'm in club mode. If I base my choice on just emotion, I'll regret it, you know? Well now. It doesn't really matter which side you pick, does it? Huh? Rika-chan hasn't said anything. What do you think? I don't think that Oyashiro-sama is a bad god. What? Oh, that's an interesting opinion. I don't want to worship some bad god that just curses people. That's true. That's good. I like a more generous god more than the one that curses. That's right. Rika-chan is a shrine maiden. Yep, good opinion. And then what? Rika-chan doesn't believe it was Oyashiro-sama. And do you think the perpetrators were human after all? We'll just go with that. Okay. Well now, that means the votes are split right down the middle. So half of us think it was a curse and half of us think it was people. Len-chan, just for reference, what did the test players who played the beta version think? Ooh, that's a good question. Hmm? Yeah. There were a lot more players who believed in the people explanation, okay? DC right there. Our veteran comrades are cool, collected, and very observant. But the beta version only finished partway through the story. That's right. Even the people who played the beta might change their minds if they got through the very end. What should we do then? It means that the opinions are still split. No fun if we don't settle this. We need there to be an odd number of judges. In other words, we need one more opinion. Eiichi. Ah, perfect timing then. Why don't we ask Eiichi-kun himself? Let's call him. The opinion of the victim himself is very valuable. Now, you'd think. Since that's decided, it's time for the phone. Hello, Keiichi-kun. Rena. Are you busy with work right now? Yeah, really busy. Just when I thought I'd get a break because the chapter's over, it's already time for the next one. How's Kei-chan? Busy? Yeah, he's moping. I can hear you, you know. Must be nice having a wrap-up party. I wanted to go too. You can come if you get some character art for yourself. Rika, that's secret. What? Ah, sorry about that, Keiichi-kun. Anyways, during the current chapter, Keiichi-kun, didn't you die? We were just talking about who the culprit might be. Basically, we're deadlocked on whether it was people or Yashiro-sama's curse that killed you. I'm really sorry. Even though you're busy reviewing the script. Keiichi-kun, which do you think it was? It's obvious, isn't it? Ooh, which? Isn't it both of them? You know, I kind of think that too. Targeted by suspicious people from the village and then cursed by some stranger Yashiro-sama on top of that. It's both humans and the curse. Everybody's just picking on me. So very, very pitiful. Next time I'll give you a good patting on the head. Damn. In the end, the opinion's still split then, huh? I'll think this over again. We might have missed something. Well then, please look forward to the next release, Higurashi when they cry Watanagashi. What's the next? Wait, Watanagashi is the next one, right? Is Onikakushi is this one? The Watanagashi is the festival name, or is that both? What's the next game called? Anyway, we finished all the achievements too. That's crazy. Yeah, 100% achievements. Easy in a visual novel, to be fair. You just do everything. But yeah, we finished the game, guys. Wow, that's crazy. We finished the game, guys. Can you believe it? Anyway, let me look at what the next game is. I want to remember. Yeah, Watanagashi. That's actually what it's called. Okay. I assume they're about the same length, right? So how many episodes did we have of this? 7. 7 seems like a good number. And there was a 10 games, so that's gonna be like 70 episodes. Oh my god. Will we ever finish? First game finished on potatoes. Not true, we finished Nobeta. Nobeta was peak finish as well. We finished a few others, but not that many. But tomorrow we'll finish Nep. Day after we'll finish Hollow Knight. Perfect, right? I might start Nep a little late tomorrow because I have something. But we should be fine regardless. And then, yeah, then Hollow Knight the day after. We should be chilling. Alright. Gori Bukum time. And that's it, right? I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat. But that's it. Yeah, Gori Bukum. Nep tomorrow. Wow.